Hey everyone, it's Craig. Just want to take a moment out before we start the show to thank each and every one of you for listening. Special thanks go to our Patreon members. Patreon, you support Hot Dog Club. And if you don't know what Hot Dog Club is, or if you're not a member of Patreon yet, now's the time to check it out. Because we have a variety of reward tiers. You can see which one works for you. The $5 option, the $7 option, or the $10 option. For $5, you get a bonus episode every week, or as close to it as we can get. Also, for $7, you get the bonus episode plus a listener's questions episode, which you can contribute to, have your questions asked, your comments read, etc. And for $10, you get the bonus episodes, the bonus listener questions episodes, as well as our movie club episodes. For Movie Club, Katya and I watch a movie that we pick, and then we analyze it to death. So far, we've done Body Double, Suspiria, and we're about to do the Legend episode, and there's a lot of great films coming up. You can watch along with us, and if you can't find the film, we figure out a way for you to find it. Anyway, there's a lot of fun happening over on Patreon, as evidenced in the Thunderbuns episode that we recently put up on iTunes outside of the paywall, which was also a very gracious thing for our Hot Dog Club members to grant us. And we have some very exciting news. Today, as we launch this episode, we have just launched our first official wave of merchandise. Our shirts and mugs only available at dragqueenmerch.com. So go check those out. Get yourself some clothes to wear while you're signing up for our Patreon and get the full 360 experience. This episode is sponsored by eLiquid. For 20% off your first purchase, visit eliquid.com. That's ELIQUID.com/whimsical and use promo code whimsical during checkout.
Listen, do you love liquid? Do you love electronic liquid? Do you,
Then you're in luck. You're in luck.
20%.
That's a pretty substantial
Craig,
percentage.
It's double 10.
Oh my God.
I know. Sometimes you get 10% on a promo code. This time you get 20. It's just incredible.
This is revolutionary. Well, you know what? There's more information on this coming later in the episode. So while I process that, let's get into the show.
Perfect.
A Russian ballerina, stomping on a bureaucrat, a perky suburban housewife who just got into scat. It's whimsically volatile.
Testicle difficulties.
Testicle difficulties. Aren't those the worst? Yeah.
Testicle difficulties.
Although I heard it's a big market these days.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we try to cause as much difficulty to the testicles as possible.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You actually do.
I really do.
I get paid a lot of good money to.
It's true.
Have you ever destroyed a man? Well, I suppose you can't say that if you've killed somebody before.
Yeah. We try not to. It's not good for business.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's true.
Or is it?
What's the thing? You have vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
What's before that? Is there something like, pina colada or something?
That's a little sweeter though.
So
A
yeah.
little
You're right.
tropical
So
and
you're talking
exotic.
like baby food.
Sour cream.
Sour cream.
Or
Yeah.
vanilla or just
mayonnaise.
mayonnaise.
Mayo.
Yeah,
That's
mayo.
it. It's mayonnaise.
It's mayonnaise.
For sure.
Mayonnaise. You're not wrong.
I think I'm regressing. I think I'm going into mayonnaise territory.
No, I
Although I
don't
started
believe that.
watching Ninja Turtle porn.
That's good.
Yeah.
I know who made that.
Really?
Absolutely. Leroy Myers. Absolutely.
Wow.
Worked with him before.
Oh my God. I don't know what this says about my psyche, but I've gone kind of like into an animated fantasy realm because human men are no longer satisfying.
Yeah,
to me.
touche.
I've heard that's a common
Yeah.
thing lately.
Oh,
Yeah.
that
oh
ever
it's
happened?
basically in the air. I think it's contagious.
Yeah, it seems like that's kind of the time. Although I was watching this one where there was a very large, it's all animated, but this very large muscle man, and he was being penetrated by this whole thing of like a nest of snakes.
It's like tentacles.
Yeah. And tentacle porn is really big, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Hentai.
Absolutely.
That's the
hentai,
that's
okay.
the like the Japanese. It's Japanese,
Yeah.
right?
It includes sort of.
And that's just any kind of animated porn or Japanese animated porn?
Japanese
porn.
anime porn, yeah.
Yeah, and I love a tentacle.
Yeah.
I love a tentacle.
You know, the heart wants what the heart wants.
It does
right?
indeed.
If Woody
Yeah.
Allen taught us anything.
Yeah. Oh Lord.
So that's where the quote's from. I'm sorry, you know. You have
Is it really?
Yeah, he's the one. Well, he popularized it at least.
Forever
Yeah.
too soon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, too soon.
Yeah, which is the name of our album that you guys are working on with
Yeah.
us. Yeah. So, you know, the intro, because we haven't told everyone who we're with.
ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the incomparable, the indomitable, the innumerable, the impossibly sexy, and ridiculously dangerous, the not to be toyed, fucked, or messed with. They're wearing Kanekalon hair pieces, but you'd never even know. The sweat is radiating off of their nubile frames. They burst into the room, sex pot goddess demon bitches from hell. It's Cherry Dawn and Sophie Monroe. Is that okay?
Oh, that
Is that all right? Is that okay? Do you mind
We've been
that?
sitting in our kitchen dreaming of this moment. I had to close my eyes just so I could really enjoy
Take
all
it
of
in.
Well, thanks for coming. Thanks for. Oh,
Yeah, thanks. It was a great show.
Yeah, and,
it
we'll
was
see you guys later.
Yeah, yeah. We'll have to do this again sometime. I
That's
think
it.
it went really
Good
well.
try.
Yeah.
So we were talking about
Things and stuff.
things and stuff.
That's right.
Making a video by request for someone who you guys just completed an hour or more of boob slobber. No, you didn't call it that.
Spitty titties.
Spitty titties. That's fabulous. All right.
It's a delicate piece of art that we are tentatively titling Spitty Titties.
Spitty titties. Okay.
So do you sit with the title for a while and then you see which fits?
Sometimes it's your first choice. Sometimes, you get a burst of inspiration right at the last minute.
Okay.
It rhymed. It was cute, clever.
Always a good thing.
You know.
Oh.
Hello.
Is
someone actually at the door?
Mother?
Or they just hang around? Yeah. Well, the neighbors are trying to break it on the show.
They want to
There's
get in on that spitty titty.
do.
Well, they
action.
heard spitty titties, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Gotta
I mean,
know.
that's how it happens. Yeah. No, they just want to find out what's happening. Yeah, they're doing construction on the building. So.
Oh, bummer.
Actually, this morning, I was awoken to the plumbers at the door and frantic text messages saying, you have to open the door because they're here to replace the wall in the bathroom. And I was like, yeah, that's not happening today. I'm sorry. We have very special guests coming in from out of town. So they've moved it to Friday. So
Well, that's
That was very
lovely.
kind of them. We might have
Yeah.
needed the
That's-
tinkler.
yeah.
No, that would have been exciting for them.
Oh, it would have been very exciting for them. Yeah.
But they'd have to pay for that.
That's true.
Yeah,
Always.
yeah,
Yeah.
No freebies.
I have to get to know them better, right?
Yeah.
And again, no freebies,
No
right? So
freebies.
this is a very important thing. So we have Patreon, and you have custom clips, and
Yes.
right. And so let's get into a little more of that and how you structure your business.
Yes. Oh, goodness. Well, I would say, we structure it across the entire spectrum of ways you can be a sexy lady.
Yeah,
We,
Sexy lady.
we produce our own movies. We produce movies for other people. We take custom sort of requests for very high production value, custom clips and things of that nature. Usually focused on fetish, BDSM, dominance and submission, weird
Kink in
shit like
general.
that. Kink in general.
yeah.
We dabble in the other things, but that's where the heart lies.
Okay.
Definitely. We do in-person domination sessions.
Which are our favorite thing, actually. To do.
Oh yeah.
Oh my. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
talk me through one of those.
Oh, well, that runs a gamut, really, honestly.
Average boiler.
Let's say
we're-
our
we're-
last session, for
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
example,
Yeah.
flew us to Chicago, and we spent 12 hours at sort of a local super plush dungeon there, which has probably 3, 4, 5 different rooms of fully kitted out torture rooms, basically, and just spent 12 hours absolutely ruining his life, sounding his dick, making him drink more pee than any one human should really probably consume healthily.
Oh my
Wow,
god.
fantastic.
I did
Yeah.
a really elaborate waterboarding.
Oh my god. Did you waterboard him with the pee?
I did waterboard him.
did
Fantastic.
not!
That's amazing. Yeah.
Not at first, but we built up to
Oh,
the
you
pee.
built up.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh
It's
my
a gradual.
god. And so okay, I have Craig.
Your head is swimming. Your
I
head
am
is swimming
swimming in pee.
with potential and excitement and questions.
I have so.
and,
I feel like
mayonnaise.
mayonnaise. Okay, so a person comes into the they book this thing. How do you establish what limits are? I mean, because I got to tell you, I am very unfamiliar. I come from like the 50 Shades of Your Mom's ass kind of like school of knowing what all the ins and outs are. Just what I've seen on HBO, Taxi Cab Confessions and whatnot.
Whatnot.
So how do you establish limits and boundaries and make sure that nobody's going to die?
Well, we have control, which really helps.
Yeah.
But we always try to talk to them in depth first, state your desires, state what you desire to not have happen,
Okay.
There's when someone contacts us, usually it's through our website
Okay.
via email.
Yeah.
And once we establish that they're not just a total bullshitter, which many of them are, absolutely.
What's that process
absolutely.
like? How do you vet them?
We've been doing this for a while, so we can get through it pretty quickly. Usually,
Sure.
you can tell when someone.
But for,
and
like,
we
those
don't
who-
even
yeah.
we don't even go through the vetting process until you've paid us.
Oh, there you
So
go. There
you're going to give
Sure.
us money
That's
to
the first
discuss,
bullshit
because
Twitter.
even if you're going to disappear and I've just given you masturbatory fodder,
Sure.
you've still paid for it.
That's the smart business move.
Bam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want to do any sort of lengthy negotiation besides I want to have a session, and then you get our responder email we built, and then you're going to pay for deep, lengthy conversations.
Absolutely.
We require
Because we also
references.
do a lot of that. We do a lot of phone sex and stuff too. So there's a lot of good platforms where there's no excuses for any of those lengthy discussions.
Yeah, if you just want to talk and jerk
monetize
off,
software.
like we have a line for that. In fact, we have 8 lines for that, depending on what you want.
Feel free to call the financial domination line and charge $14 a minute. That would be great.
$14 a minute? Oh, that's fantastic. I'm
Yeah.
fascinated with the financial domination thing, and I'll have to applaud it. We'll dub in some applause. Yeah.
Oh my God, financial domination.
I love it. I don't know. I think men are so obsessed with their wallets. They're so obsessed with this idea of being a provider, and to just have a woman, give no fucks about being very honest about the fact that absolutely I want your money.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
absolutely I am materialistic. And absolutely I do deserve it. And you will give it to me, and you will do without, and I won't.
Yeah.
If we can pause for a second, I
Yeah.
just want to check a sound issue just because of all the banging going on downstairs. Just 1 second. You were just saying, Sophie, no condiments in general,
No
right?
condiments
No.
in general.
Yeah.
No condiments.
I don't like it, and you don't want it.
I don't want it. I don't like
Yeah,
it.
That's right.
So wait, so financial domination.
Financial domination.
Yes.
So how, and is it gauche of me to ask how long will a guy stay on the line for $15 a minute?
Oh God. The people who are really committed to financial domination will blow a
Thousands
mind-bogglingly
of dollars.
staggering
Holy
amount. Yeah.
shit.
And they pay us to put them on ignore, though. They call the
Oh,
financial
really?
domination line.
To be on hold?
We put them on hold, and we just
Oh,
go on with
wow.
their lives,
Oh
and
my
they just run. It just runs until.
Or we play
it's
games
done.
like raise the rate.
Yeah, or tell
Be on
them
the
to
phone and
fuck
we
off,
hang up, and if you want
hang
to talk
up
to
on
us
them,
again,
call
we'll
back.
double the rate and say call back.
Wow. And I'm guessing that is like a big seller. Like people go
Yeah.
nuts for
It's-
that, right?
Big part of the I don't give a fuck. It's that attitude. Like, I give so little of a fuck. I'm going to hang up on you. I don't give a shit. I don't need your $13, $14 a minute.
Oh wow. So there's that.
Make it 28 and then maybe we'll talk.
Then
Oh
you're
my
interesting.
God.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
Absolutely.
useful are you
That's
going to be?
incredible.
Now let's talk about what the hook is for the guy, right? So can you describe that a little bit? Because I think some people who are unfamiliar with it, might not understand it. So I'd like to hear it from an expert.
Absolutely. God, there's so many different nuances, and obviously it varies per person. But I think men are just trained to feel like their power is in their wallet, and it's that thing that every woman wants from you.
Right.
It's your token in society of like, I have succeeded, I've done the right thing, and I've worked hard, and I've provided. And then to have someone just callously snatch it, I think it is mind-boggling, and it is a very true, very real representation of power exchange.
So it takes away the attendant things that come with that
Yeah.
power for money, and then it puts them in the vulnerable
And
position.
it's selfless, because honestly, like, if people come to me and they want to get tied up, they want to get their ass fisted, they want to get fucked with a strap on, they want to
Right.
do all these things, like, it's very one-to-one to them and their sort of
Sure.
satisfaction. And
Yeah.
I think it is that sort of, it's not a directly pulling the patch, as you like to say, type of activity that does get a lot of people off,
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
that hitting that submit button, that, ooh, I just made it real feeling.
Right.
And I think it's gambling.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
it
I was
is.
gonna
Yeah.
It's the same rush as gambling.
Right.
I swear it is. You're like,
Right.
if I give her this money, maybe she'll do X, Y, Z, or maybe our relationship will get closer, or
Yeah.
maybe it won't. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to give it.
It's living on the edge.
living on the edge, man.
Yeah.
A lot of them also feel like they need to atone.
Oh,
That's
A lot
okay.
of
true.
men,
Interesting.
a lot of
Sure.
men come
Yes.
and say, I have been an asshole my whole life.
Really?
I'm in a
Yeah.
place of power. I have absolutely nothing to offer
don't
women but
deserve
my
it."
money. I don't deserve you, and I know it.
Wow.
And
Is
you
that an
know,
opening gambit kind of sometimes from people?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, it can be.
And often it's, I would say, submissive people who aren't as sensationally inclined. You
Yeah,
know,
not
maybe they're not
everyone.
masochists,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean they don't
okay.
want to submit
What
to a
does that mean,
dominant woman.
sensationally? Oh, okay. I get it.
Physical
Yeah.
interactions.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
They don't want to be beaten. They don't want to
get
play
the
with
shit beat.
wax. They don't
Yeah.
want, they don't want us to hurt them physically, but they do want to have that sort of mind fuck.
Yeah,
Sure.
That
financially
intense
demoralized.
mind fuck. That really is where it all starts anyways, is in the brain. I mean, the
Sure.
body's fine, but if
Yeah.
you can really fuck someone's mind, then,
Yeah.
going somewhere.
And their wallet.
And their wallet.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
does
The
any-
mind-wallet connection.
The
It
mind
is,
That's
the
right.
wallet
mind
fucking
wallet.
connection.
There's a pamphlet I saw on that. That was down at the rectory.
And it
Oh,
can
yeah.
be submission that really affects you every second of your day. If I take your money and then put you on a budget and
Oh,
basically
so you
steal
do
your
that.
lunch money
That's
to an extent,
amazing.
like you're going hungry and you're doing it for me. And that's like a very tangible, very real expression of submission. And it's something that works really well from a distance too. And I think a lot of people don't actually have the space in their lives to be perverts, even if they want to.
From a distance. I think this has a whole
Yeah.
new
That's-
shine on that song now.
Do you
Right.
think I wonder if these are people, some of these guys were like bullies in high school or
Yes.
or like stole kids lunch money and then became
Absolutely.
a successful lawyer, whatever the fuck, and then now they just want to
They're
get
just assholes in their life.
They
They,
really
really
know
are
that they have
assholes
to-
in their life, and they need to fucking give it up.
How much do they end up revealing about themselves? Is it part of the thing that they just feel like they have to blurt?
Usually, everything.
Usually.
Okay. yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
it's slow, but really, in the end, the reason that they're engaging in that type of a dynamic is because they want to open up.
Okay.
They want that
Yeah.
space in life. They don't have anywhere else in their personal life or in their business life to come and do it, and they can do it with us. I don't want to say in a safe
I was
environment.
going to say, I was thinking safe harbor, so
Safe
whatever.
harbor.
Yeah.
Safe as in so much as we don't like to break our toys, 'cause we just
Yeah.
want to keep on using and using them.
That's right. Well, speaking of breaking things, you broke your Hitachi vibrator
I
the other day.
did.
On 4th of
I
July, which I
did.
have to say, very patriotic.
Yeah.
That's why I chose the intro music for you that I did.
There
Yeah.
were sparks. We were having aggressive lesbian sex, and then there it went. The double Hitachis turned into a single Hitachi, and that is nowhere near as much fun.
Now there's some troops I want to support.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there
and
you
well,
go.
you know, if you want to support those troops, you know what you do, Brian?
Yeah,
you know what you do. You go to their wish
I
list.
go to their wish list. Yes, I
That's
do.
right. Yeah, can we give the what's the link for the wish list? Just on your Twitter through there.
Yes, if you go to cherrytorn.com/spoil, that will
Spoil.
take you to my wish
Yes.
list.
Yeah.
What's the most
To our joined wish list, I should say, because we have just become an
One-
amalgamation of one person at this point.
Everything we've been together for 11 years.
Oh, cool. Wow. Where'd you meet?
Originally, we met on a lovely website called bondage.com.
Oh,
She was living in the UK,
oh really?
and
Wow.
I was in San Francisco. And then 2 years later, she moved, and that was it. We've been
Cool.
inseparable ever since.
Now, how long were you in the UK for?
I was there for nearly 4 years,
And what brought you to the UK?
running screaming from South Carolina.
Oh,
South Carolina.
That's very fair.
Oh Lord
you
Jesus!
kept running. You went
Yeah, I just
over the
kept
bodies
it cruising,
of
like
water.
not far enough, not far
Yeah.
enough, keep on going. No, I grew up in South Carolina in a super rural area. Republicans, Jesus, jet skis, golf, that sort of
Sure,
thing.
yeah.
Republicans, Jesus, and jet skis.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it was never for me. And I was a bit of a miscreant in my teenage years. I don't know, it was weird.
Well, I'm glad I'm sitting down because,
did
frankly,
very-
I'm shocked. This is very,
shocking.
not
I
with
know.
my image
well,
of you.
my
and-
mother was shocked. I'll tell you that much. I graduated valedictorian, so when she figured out what I was up to, finally, I think she was well surprised.
What about now?
A little surprised. Now she's not surprised at all. She's like, "Is it legal? Okay, great."
It's good. It's good to basically
I love
burn
that.
your parents out of
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
any of
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
be like, it's legal, right? Like, okay, I just go.
Yes.
go
By
ahead
the
and do
time I
your
got
thing.
done doing things for free as a teenager, she was like, "Oh, you're just doing porn? Okay, well that's fine. It's great."
What was some of the trouble you would get into as a youth?
Oh, I guess I asked for that. I
Yes.
really liked. I've always liked dirty, kinky sex, and
Really?
for as
Shocking.
long as I can remember, and I
Welcome
had
to
a
Dirty Kinky
penchant
Sex Club.
for
Kinky sex.
old dudes
Yeah.
on the internet. It was
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of my thing for
There's
a while.
few of those too, which is helpful.
There's quite
Yeah.
a few.
Wait.
Not as many as I preferred, and honestly, I've never felt like I predated someone more. Like I was a very aggressive teen. I was a very sexually aggressive teen.
So you weren't really being preyed on. You were, yeah.
Well, yeah. I don't know my therapist would agree, but that's how I feel about it.
That's what matters the most.
Didn't we all
anyways.
do dirty shit like that when we were teenagers? What are you gonna do?
Well, we either did or we wanted to.
I
Yes.
wanted
You know,
to, but
that's
I
the
was
thing.
just too mayo or too
mayo.
too fearful to get it. I was.
Seems like you've made up to it with a little creepy sexual interactions
Yeah,
here
he's
or there.
gotten a little. He's gotten a little bit of that.
I've got a lot of that.
Because that's how I liked it. Gross, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Not
What was it?
not
Define-
attractive men,
Not-
old men, like creepy
Oh, really?
ones. You know, like the creepier the
She
better.
likes it gross.
She likes it creepy.
Yeah, likes it gross.
nasty, sexy, gross sex tonight.
Be the predator or be the prey.
It doesn't matter, you're gonna pay either way.
So what does she have to say?
Give it up now.
Be the pay pig and do the right thing on
Pay
her
pig.
wish list. Pay it every day. It's the only way to feel like a man again. Isn't that the truth?
So true.
Oh, damn, that track's over.
Oh, son of a bitch. So you've always been interested in creepy, nasty, gross sex.
Yeah, and then I realized I could get paid for it. I was like, why am I doing all
could
this
be
for
better?
free? Why?
I felt that way. I've really felt that way because I've known guys who have only, a lot of gay guys, they kind of like only go for they get that some maybe internalized homophobia or whatever, where you only go for straight guys or people who are discreet or people who are like on the down low, whatever. And I always say, make them pay for it.
Yes.
Make them
You don't
pay
get
for
to have
it.
the benefits of the gay lifestyle without living the gay lifestyle. Are you kidding me? I'm offended by that. I am offended to my core.
Yeah.
I feel the same about being a pervert. Like, you have to
Get in there, do the work.
Earn your
Pay
stars
that.
and
Yeah.
stripes.
Yes,
Even
exactly.
if it's $20.
Uh-huh.
$20.
It gets you a lot some places. $20.
Yeah. I mean, because I would just say,
Where's that, by the way? Just for our listeners, and maybe me on a Tuesday or something. Yeah.
It'll get you about 1 minute on the phone.
Have you so do you guys do on the phone sex? Do you do like different characters?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. I think we have 8 lines.
8 lines.
Yeah,
Wow.
they're all slightly different. We have a twin cest line, which is our
Ooh.
favorite. We like twin cest domination.
Yeah.
It's sort of our.
Incest domination.
That's our current shtick. If you were a little bit blurry-eyed, you really wouldn't be able to tell which one of us is which.
Especially when
If you're on your knees, a little bit confused,
Wow.
Yeah.
all blurry.
There again, with the brain, it'll take care of it. It's like when you see a sign that's misspelled, it'll reorder it
Yes.
for you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Exactly.
Are there any trends that are more recurring? What's the hot?
Farts.
Oh, farts.
Oh, okay.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm gotta be honest. It's my best-selling genre right now.
Really? Yeah. I saw
Really?
you posted one the other
Yes.
day. Yeah.
That sold so well overnight. I woke up and I legitimately died.
Yeah, she ran into my room and was like, "You won't believe this."
Every time, I'm just still shocked. I'm like, they really like the toots.
Oh wow. So and what is that? How does that look like? What does that look?
So, it looks like a regular sort of clip, JOI type of clip, whatever.
Yeah.
But, there's a lot of cheek spreading
It's just farting.
farts.
And you have to
Like blood curdling, eye watering, shocking, make you
Blood-
want to check your pants slightly farts. Like, I don't know what to say.
Blood curdling
blood
farts.
curdling farts is not. That is the.
That's an album
description.
name right there.
Yeah. Did I see that at the New Beverly? I'm
Yeah,
not
oh
sure
my
because they show
God.
so many of the horror films that
Eye-watering, blood-curdling, toe-tingling, zodiac killing,
eye-watering, blood curdling,
zodiac
pants-shattering farts from
Flatulence.
Cherry Tour.
Fart eaters.
No, we're fart farmers. We get
Fart
everyone we
farmers.
know
It's
to
true.
record their farts and send them to us.
Because it's
Really?
just too many. Like, if you're going to do 5 to 6 minute clip or something like that, 10 minutes, like, that's a lot of farts.
Yes, it is.
How
yes,
do you
it
be
is.
gear up for
honest.
something like that? Oh, I know this is kind of gross.
Well, and we don't like to do anything like that
I
on
really
this
don't
show.
want to devolve
Yeah,
into
no.
some kind of
Absolutely
shit talking.
Definitely
I-
hate that poop talk.
Yeah.
We do. We shy away from it. We're very poop shy here, especially Brian.
We
I-
hate to repulse the listeners. It's not nice.
Well, and Brian, he just.
I just get overwhelmed.
look. He's getting worked up right
Ah,
now.
I think farts are really funny. But I don't think that they're sexual funny. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Get out. Get out now, sickness.
I will say that was the hardest part of the fart porn is to not laugh your fucking ass off the whole time. Or you just do it, honestly. Like, I don't know how you don't laugh while you talk about someone eating your farts. I really don't.
Right.
We laugh a lot while we're shooting those clips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're laughers.
Oh.
And
Many
Oh,
hits.
yeah. And then
like
the
a-
editing process is a real... You're like, what have I done?
it's a real toot. Yeah. Do you?
Because you got to go through all the damn footage.
And that's just me looking at my own ass.
Yeah.
Are you ever like, this farts really just doesn't bring it? I think this other
Yes.
one, right.
Yes, but usually, and because we farm really quality farts,
You outsource some of the,
you know, only hot, sexy lady farts, but you do need help sometimes.
Wait, what
You
is
have a
this?
network.
Sorry,
you
I
have a
was-
network. You were lost in a moment of
totally
reflection.
was.
Wait, what
you
does
know,
it mean that you farm for? I don't get it.
so like, you know, like we have a fart inventory like on our phones, for example, like in the voice memo section. Like, should
Gotcha.
you need to fart, like you might as well record it
Send
to
it
use
to
it
us.
later.
We will put it on the internet.
Don't let
and
anything go to waste.
Why would
Absolutely
you?
not.
I love that.
Those are whispers from heaven to these men,
Yeah,
women,
because Brian has-
whomever's
Yeah.
buying
Yeah, a
them.
woman doesn't fart; she whispers through her
That's
panty.
right.
That was so polite.
That was really polite.
We'll have to play you our 17-second long high water.
Do you know what? You know what? It just occurred to me.
What's that? I don't understand. Keep your composure together, Brian. I don't know why you're.
Are you on Bacon Farts? Have you? Do you know
no,
the app Bacon Farts?
No, I do not.
Oh.
Stop it.
You can DJ farts.
So you can
Basically, you can slow it down, speed it
What?
up, change the timbre.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
well, thank you for adding another color
welcome.
to this show in general. Thank you very much.
But people don't think about stuff. There's a lot of nuance. Like, are the cheeks pressed together? Because you can tell. Are
Sure.
you in the bathroom? Because it echoes.
The echo.
the
Do you have
echo,
pants
yeah.
on? Do you have pants off?
Are
Like,
you shaved or unshaved?
Are you in
This
the
is- we were
water?
talking about this the other day
Exactly.
about how.
Yeah.
soaks
Yeah.
up the reverb.
No, because I'm sorry if this is gross for the listeners. Just kidding.
Yeah, the one who commented about the belching.
no burping, please,
Yeah,
sir.
right.
Absolutely no burping.
I'm
Yes,
so
exactly.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
I know, right?
People
yeah.
pay good money for that. I don't
Yeah.
understand that.
Keep
kind
it
of-
coming.
I don't know. But if you,
Loud
I've
and
like,
Trying
proud.
to keep him real gassy with
Yeah.
this. by the way.
Yes.
oh yeah. I've shaved my butthole.
And you as
and
well.
then
That's perfect. Yeah.
you can really, if you're in public and you fart, it literally will go. Like it's really
Try
is
having a
resonant.
vagina and you can like travel a fart from the back to the front.
all the way up and out.
That's not a thing.
It's kind of what I
No,
imagine
it's
farting
not.
while,
Swear to God
while
it is.
farting while tucked might be like.
Oh, once farting
Tape
while
and tuck,
tucked
like-
is doesn't even it.
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. How does it? What happens? Is it to go back up and then that's why you belch a lot?
Nothing. Because there's so much shit. Not shit. Sorry.
well,
so much
you know,
stuff down
depending.
there.
So
like
many, yeah.
you got the gaff, or because I don't do the taping. You get the gaff thing that just yanks it all up there, and then all the pads and stuff. There's no possibility of a toot sound. It's just a hot
is it
air
like a-
disaster. It's just
Like that?
It's like an asthmatic
Something like that?
emphysema cough.
Death rattle.
Death rattle. That's the one.
It's kind of like I know Helena Marcos.
Yes, exactly.
Helen
It's
Marcos.
exactly
Yeah.
exactly like that. Okay, wait. So, what about cock and ball torture?
Yes.
CBT.
CBT.
Do you know that every time somebody mentions cognitive behavioral
Oh.
therapy and they say CBT, I immediately think of cock and
course.
ball torture?
Every time. My doctor
Yeah.
said that to me with straight face the other day. I'm like, you know what I do. You can't do that to me.
You're throwing me here. I'm trying to hear you, and yeah.
I want to hear about the
No,
first
we-
time that you approached a man in he asked you to crush his balls. or
It was a
whatever.
doctor from England. We did it
Wow.
together. Swear to God.
No.
Okay.
Shut up.
So
True.
this gentleman, this was years ago. God, this was like, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago now.
750,000 years.
By the way, I'd just like to note for the listeners, as Sherry said that she checked her watch, which I appreciate. You're like, that is about 10 years, and yeah.
It's important. Is it even on?
Very accurate.
So that's a digital watch, right?
It's a broken watch.
Red Apple Watch.
Yeah.
Broken watch.
Is it a digital watch? Because an analog one wouldn't be so comprehensive.
It is. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. No, we had a very young, late 20s, incredibly handsome doctor, fly out from London, I believe, proper, and got the penthouse in a hotel in downtown San Francisco, and had us over to spend 4 hours in spiked heels.
Oh my god!
One in front facing him, one behind.
Oh my god!
Bracing for impact.
Just taking turns football kicking his testicles.
Oh my god!
Okay, so now what's the tempo? Do you know what I mean? Like using like that, like how long in between hits was
it? It depends on the person. Now
or specifically, let's use the doctor as an example.
Yes.
Let's use him a little bit more.
Well, we always try to. We don't always try. If we've discussed beforehand that we're just going to go in and go ham, then we'll just go in and go ham.
Yeah.
But with this one,
I just have to interrupt. I had a vision of like a Ghostbusters type situation where you're like, we're going ham, going ham. High five, and then right in, and then
just,
I picture
exactly. That motherfucker.
Kicking the door down, picking up the door, and then shoving that against his, just beating the shit out of him.
You're not wrong. And then just planting him on the bedpost.
Yeah.
No. With him, we started slowly because we thought he wouldn't
4
be able
hours
to
is a long
take
time.
it.
Yeah, it is. You're right.
It's a marathon
He
of ball
was little.
busting.
He was tiny. He was a tiny man, and we're tall women in flat feet. You put us in heels and corset and hair. It's.
And you're in the full getup.
Oh, we always,
drag.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah. We like to make a spectacle.
Oh yeah,
as frequently as
do
possible.
It properly, right?
So,
Yeah.
And I can imagine you guys just hoofing it through that hotel, the lobby, just like, oh my god.
Is there anything better than in being in drag in the hotel lobby?
Oh yeah, I love it.
Because that's now what the full regalia totally feels like to us.
We are essentially in drag. And
totally.
It baffles me, and I think that's why I think queens are so fascinating, because you take all the shittiest parts of our job and you do them willingly and with gusto.
It's so true.
That's amazing.
And I watch it wide-eyed and amazed. And like,
look at them go.
They're doing it.
Oh god.
I have them getting ready PTSD. We were talking about that this morning. How we're just like, it's like it like takes 15 minutes at this point. We're so practiced, and still it's like torture.
Put it on, wipe it off.
Basically, waking up and being like, I don't want to do. I don't.
Yeah,
want to do that.
I don't want that.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
What do you say, Brian? I don't like it.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
I don't want that. I don't like it. It's awful.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
And as women, we do it. I mean,
Yeah.
we've been doing it since we were teens, most of us, day in, day out, day in, day out. It's fucking exhausting.
And maybe that's the problem. I realized I could get paid for it, and so now I'm like, why am I doing this?
Am I
for
making
free?
money putting this face on?
I don't think so.
Yeah, totally.
No.
Totally. It sucks
thank
to juice that. So you guys, you beat the shit out of that young
Yes.
doctor's nuts
Did.
for 4 fucking
For
hours.
4 hours. Trampoline.
Sound, urethral sound.
Yep.
So that's the one when I'm like searching porn or whatever, and I'm like, oh, okay, this dom, great. Oh, sounding, okay, move away.
Take
move
it back.
away. Yeah,
So
yeah.
I shouldn't tell you I have a sounding kit in my bag then.
Well,
Do you really? I gotta see it.
Yeah.
yeah, we have to see it. I mean, journalistic curiosity alone, and plus
Fair.
I'm a
Had to
massive
bring.
pervert, but except that's just not my thing. Do you know what I mean? So like,
Right.
I'm interested.
So we've
in all
been
of it.
debating about that. Which one of you is a giant pervert?
Oh well, that would be me.
That was our assumption.
That's correct.
Really?
Just
You'd-
from listening, yeah.
Yeah, you'd
Although
figured it
you
out.
are both seem to be very fascinated by a strong lady.
Oh yeah.
But I like to be the strong lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my part.
I actually would love to. You know what I think I want to get into?
I think I know.
Psychological torture.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And as far as like role playing goes, and especially like Hannibal Lecter style therapeutic torture.
Yeah, we've done some
Interesting.
cannibalism porn.
Really?
we have.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, wait.
So
Now,
She had to, like-
outline that a little for us.
So it's, idea obviously, woman being eaten. We did it lesbian style, so she ate me.
Oh my god.
And we had to do, I think it was custom photos and a clip or something like that.
I covered her in ketchup.
She had to like
Oh, okay.
pretend slice me with a knife and fork and drizzle ketchup on my toes and nibble
wow.
me. Some people go like really full ham. Like there's other websites that are
Literally ham.
they'll truss you up like a turkey and they'll grease you and they'll make a spit roast and
Oh,
turn
that's
you
so
over the
cute.
fire and things like that.
Oh, really?
Super cool.
What's the name of that website?
Milky's Kitchen.
Milky's Kitchen.
I don't even know if
Milky-
they
that's
still
so
update.
cute.
That might be
Yeah.
from more of the quaint era of the internet.
Milky's Kitchen.
Mookie.
Mookie. Okay, I thought it was
Yes.
Milky's, and I thought, oh, that sounds like like a neighborhood.
Like a promise of what's to come.
That's true.
Oh my
too.
God. Okay,
So this is the sounding kit.
Okay.
Oh my.
We had to bring a couple props.
This is a very small and basic traveling sort of sounds kit. These are.
Okay.
Is the one at home kind of like those craftsman tool kits that you would
Yeah.
see?
We actually have a dungeon in our home, like a full-blown
Wow.
dungeon space.
Cool.
At this point, that we can't be without one. We have
No,
too
that
we have
makes
too
sense.
much shit, so we have to have a place to keep it. But this is
Okay.
my traveling.
Can I
kit.
take a? I'd like to. Could you hold it up for the camera?
Absolutely.
Thank you. All right, now let's tell people who don't know. I'm sure most listeners know what sounding is, but just
Can
for
I
those
try
who don't,
one of those rings on? No, what is that?
Urethral sounding is
Yeah,
the
those-
penetrating of the dick hole.
Okay, now and
It can
and-
be with various things, but sounds in particular are usually made of very smooth metal. They range in size from, we're talking Q-tip to like cigar
to cigar.
in diameter.
yeah.
This is fascinating.
In
'cause
just
I
this
didn't-
small,
yeah.
this kit.
Well, I have to get a
This-
closer look at this.
I
So wow. See, I thought that it was basically like because again, I've been like and just moved away on the sites. I thought that one was basically it. I thought that's as far as it went.
yeah.
You're like that's very funny. You're like that's cute. No,
That one looks like a fucking dildo.
A dildo?
A
You
dildo.
fuck it
Yeah.
like a
Dildo, yeah.
like a dildo, and it's fascinating because you think that I don't know, you might
How
have
does
to
it-
aggress the dick hole, but you don't. You're really
No.
more like drop it in.
You find
Okay.
it. You finesse it. It's
Gravity
usually with people
does
who
its
don't do a
work.
lot of sounding. If they don't do it frequently, you start very, very slow. And honestly, I have never met a man that I've sounded, even men who were terrified of it, that didn't find pleasure in it.
Really?
When done properly. Absolutely.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I've not looked at anything. I've just been
Yeah.
like that looks painful.
You can make it fucking hurt. Don't get me wrong. Like
I know that you two
know
can,
what I
do
mean. Like
anything. Yeah, I have
absolutely, but
faith
it
in
doesn't
you.
have
Yeah.
to. A lot
Yeah.
of BDSM activities that do hurt also can just be pleasurable.
Sure.
if
Well, also
done-
like pegging, right? Because pegging
Yes.
is
Oh,
like,
pegging.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Blast.
Yeah, pegging is great. It's our we love
That's my favorite
We're
line of videos.
proselytizers.
Fucking men
I
in
would
the ass.
say proselytizers of the men getting fucked in the ass.
Uh huh.
No,
Feel
It's
strong.
something I've always wanted to try. It's my favorite video thing, but it's
Yeah.
not sort of. I can't speak to its actual efficacy. So-
It's
Yeah.
great. Have you ever played with your butthole at all?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
well
Yeah,
then
yeah.
It's
You're,
a good-
you're well on your way.
now going back to the sounding kit for just a moment. Now, what are these things that I'm wearing?
Oh, well,
Well, we have to take a picture of that
Yeah,
as
yeah, yeah.
well because they're quite handsome on you as
They're
well.
beautiful.
I mean, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, me and just casually.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
Those are just used in conjunction with sounds, usually for sensory play.
So what do you mean by that? Just a stick and poke?
Yeah, if I
Yeah,
have
stick
if
and
I have one of these in your dick, and then I have my claws on, and I'm down by your testicles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Playing in between your rectum and your testes. It's
So it just
time.
adds to the overall stimulation.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
so cool looking.
Aren't those fun?
They're really, really. They're very drag.
They're
They
like very
are.
drag Freddy Krueger, right?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
These are great.
Yeah.
These are
Or
super
wearable
good.
torture. Why
Like
not?
wearable torture, yeah.
Yeah.
Wearable torture.
Very, like Catwoman.
Yeah, these
Oh,
are
okay.
these are very
Sure.
Oh, these
Yeah.
are
I
awesome.
have my claws. I have my whip. I'm ready to go.
And yeah, these are like they're sharp but not like
Razor
super
sharp.
Not
No,
like
they're
razor
not. They're
sharp.
not needles. They're not actual sharp play. You want if you're going to use sharps, you want them to be sterile. You don't want to do
Mess
that
around
kind of
with-
yeah.
yeah.
If you're going to play with skin staples or needles or
There you go. You know, I actually
sutures,
I
you
thought
want
I
them
had
to
a
be
good
sterile.
stomach for all this stuff
Sure.
until I watched my friend back in Boston. She used to do drag shows and stuff, but she had this alter ego where she would do temporary piercing.
Oh,
and,
interesting. Yeah.
And she would do like needles that would
Yeah.
be like these whole designs on the body, like just tons and tons of them
Yeah.
on a volunteer or whatever. And I was right up there, and I was so surprised. I had to leave the room. I got
Interesting.
I was like, "Bleh."
Yeah, a visceral reaction. You
Yeah,
didn't
visceral
even,
reaction.
yeah.
I could not believe. I was like, "Wow,
And
I'm
you
such a
with your
wimp."
Mr. Eye roll. Oh, whatever. I've seen
Yes.
it all.
Seen it all.
Please.
Yeah,
Things
no.
happen with age. I'm telling you, you get more squeamish.
Yeah, I never thought it was squeamish before.
Yeah.
Is there anything that maybe used to be on the menu for either of you that suddenly isn't, or it's something that is just not as enjoyable anymore?
Yes,
You're smiling, so there's an answer. Yeah.
What's the tea, ladies?
What's making you giggle?
Well, I'll answer first because hers is much more exciting. No, for me, it's kind of what you're talking about. I did flesh hook suspensions. And things. I've never been a bottom. I'm not a bottom. I'm not submissive, but I definitely can enjoy being a masochist, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
So,
and there's a difference between being a submissive and being a masochist.
Sure. So explain that a little.
Explain that.
Explore. Let's explore.
Let's explore. Let's take a little trip down the lane of. No. I am not a submissive woman at all.
Sure.
But
Cherry was laughing, did not check her watch.
Shocker.
But it confused people when I would play publicly because they knew me as a dominatrix and they would see me with covered in needles or getting tied up and suspended and spanked or whatever it was, and it was like, but I thought you were a top. And it's like, well, yeah, they're serving me and giving me exactly what I want. If I want to experience any type of sensation as a top, that's perfectly fair. Just like, maybe I want to get fucked in the ass. You never know.
Right.
You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It just, it's weird. I experienced, actually, when I was working at Kink, I got a death threat from someone who watched me do a rope suspension, who was completely offended by the fact I'd done it.
Really?
Because they said you're a fraud. I worshipped you as a goddess, and you, in my mind, were everything that represented. And I saw you do this.
I watched
you
switch one time.
Yeah, you shattered my fucking reality.
It was like going electric, and people were apoplectic with rage. Yeah,
that is so funny to me. It's like, you were my blonde bombshell, but you put on a brown wig, and now it's over.
Don't get me started on that, okay? Girl, Also, I'm really sad that we didn't get to be blondes together. That's all I'm gonna say. But that's okay. Now I'm a brunette, but I get a lot of the bitching about that. Oh, but I really like that. Blonde look.
Well, you know what?
That's why we have an entire trunk of wigs.
Yeah, hello. Yeah.
It's a lot easier switching it out, right?
I got a request by a trick once. He wanted, and I was, I'm like pretty accommodated, especially if they're going to pay. I was like, sure, yeah, whatever. And but
that's nice of you.
Yeah. I just want to imagine that conversation. So I'm going to come over and I'm just going to fuck you, and you're just going to not know when I'm coming over, and it's just going to be like anytime
random.
Of day. Random. And you go,
pop up.
Okay, yeah. That's the response in my mind now to every request.
He's like, I want. Sometimes they were so stupid, or they wanted like me to wear like a cheerleader thing or something, it's just some kind of outfit or something like that. And one guy was like, do you have a wig like this? And it was like a short black one that looked like Kris Jenner. And I was like, Mary, no, I'm not gonna I was like, trust me, I know what looks sexy. Do you know what I mean? Because what's gonna happen is you have this fantasy, and then I'm gonna open the door and you're gonna be like,
and who knows? They're probably trying to remake you in the image of like the wife or a female person.
Yeah, it's
like that's crazy.
Or like, I want you to be like my stepmom or something. Yes. But also, do you know what's funny? The experimenting with different looks is because I had a friend back home who she tried wearing a short wig once for a trip.
Put that little pussycat wig on.
Yeah,
you can't do it. Like the guys, they don't like the short wig.
They don't.
They really do not.
Guys don't like the short hair in general. It's not everyone, but 90%.
You had short hair for a while, right?
Oh yeah.
How long did you have short hair
for? Longer than I
wanted. What was the stupid
because
man part? I missed that. I talked over it.
Some man convinced me that I would look good with short hair.
Yeah.
And I don't want to deal with hair, so I'm susceptible to that.
Yeah.
So you tell me I don't have to deal with this. Let's experiment. And then also I wear a lot of wigs and extensions and things that will just keep your hair short. Should you shorten it? Yeah. Can't recommend that at all.
Breaks it off.
Yeah.
Right off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The good old wiggery.
Yeah. So that man ended up dumped on the curb.
Yeah.
Actually.
So is that
the literal curb?
Yeah, the literal. We packed him up and we drove him up the road and dumped him.
And by the way, if you want to experience that, you do have that available on your right. Exactly.
Yeah, just call our line.
Yeah, and they offer different types of packing crates.
We do.
And or garbage
you
bags.
in a crate. We'll
Right.
put your crate in another crate.
That's
crate in the crate.
right.
Now that's.
But
That's the
what
one.
if I want the guy operating the forklift to also humiliate me while I'm in the crate?
That's why we leave a hole.
Oh, there you go.
Little
Yeah.
two-way mirror action.
And I think you just have to pay some kind of lump sum thing
Okay.
for the gas and snacks for the guy who's going to humiliate you.
And I want him to. I want his name to be Mario, and I want him to. I want him to stick his hard dick into the crate. And when I go to touch it, he pulls it out and he says, "No,
Not for you. Not for you.
Absolutely not.
I think I hear Mario coming.
Mario."
This is not Mario.
This is not
I was like,
Mario.
bullshit. I played a lot of Mario. This is
Really?
not- I am a huge video game.
Oh, no, I meant Mario the driver.
Oh, Mario the
Mario
driver.
the driver.
I was like,
This is what he'd be
"This is
playing.
not Mario."
And he's like, yeah.
You want this dick? No.
That's it.
That's it. There's nothing else to it.
Yeah, and you'd be begging,
Yeah,
please,
That's
please.
okay. That's
Please,
why
Mario.
I'm,
Please,
you know.
but can I just touch your dick for just a moment, Mario? Please. And he'd be like,
You want this
No.
Okay, that's kind of my fantasy. I don't know. I'm very attracted to gay men, so that makes a lot of sense to me. Dicks that don't want me to touch them they're my favorite dicks.
"There you go." Oh my god.
But to answer your early question on the things we used to do that we don't do anymore,
Yes.
I used to consider myself something of a shock artist, I would say.
Oh, and how would you shock?
What
What would
was-
your shock
And,
artistry be?
You know, gross things, much along.
I'm watching Sophie's reaction right now.
Yeah,
So
I can.
it's a real.
A
we're
picture
in
is
for a
being
treat.
painted.
We're in for a treat.
A picture is being painted.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Is it going to be
and a
like cutting the
delight.
tags?
Yeah.
Did you cut the tags off mattresses at hotels?
Yeah,
Something like
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Pick a
yeah.
name out of
Post
the
it on
phone
the
book
internet
and
in front
prank
of God
call
and
'em.
everybody.
Yeah.
No, I started out really obsessed with. I always had an oral fixation.
Okay.
Started out really obsessed with piss,
Okay.
and that's a slippery slope.
All right. Say no more. Say no more.
Slippery slope
Slippery slope.
Say no more.
Indeed.
Say no more.
down the bodily fluid train.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I still cannot get over that sounding kit.
Isn't it
Now,
amazing?
This is so polite and tiny.
It's so pretty and unassuming, and it just looks like
It's a handsome package.
It is
And we
a
all
handsome
like a
package.
handsome package, don't we?
Can I see that?
Yeah,
Can I see one of
absolutely.
them? Let me see one of them.
Okay, so
Yeah.
now
Confusing to
Take the whole
TSA,
thing.
I'll tell you that much.
Oh my god! What are you?
Oh, we've had people leave us notes in our bags. Have
Oh,
a great
really?
trip. Smiley face. Yeah,
No
absolutely,
way.
Oh, that's
absolutely. They got we just always wonder because there's always when we travel, especially for sessions, there's always a bag that's full of nothing but buffoonery. You know?
Buffoonery,
Sure.
shenanigans, and
Shenanigans.
tomfoolery.
Yeah, absolutely.
So my question back to the sounding kit.
God.
So you start with the slimmest one, right? And then what's the usual rate of progression up until the cigar?
Well, I will be honest with you, there are only a select few individuals that can take the cigar.
Okay.
Ambitious.
And what kind of? I mean, there's got to be some kind of lubricant, obviously, right?
Always, yeah. There's a whole
WD-40
cleaning
or something?
process, and then you want to use lube that's not been opened before. Usually, we
Oh, really?
Don't want
Why is
anything-
that?
Sterileness.
Sterileness.
Oh, okay, right.
So the
Sure,
little
okay.
packets are great for that.
Okay.
Oh wow! Do you have to?
Yeah.
What do you get? Stick it in a bonfire first? or not?
Cavicide,
Okay.
usually.
You want the bonfire package,
Yeah.
right?
Hot burning rod up your dick hole.
And Mario, you insist on Mario delivering you.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Oh my god. This is. I mean, I can't. This is insane.
love it.
This
Yeah.
is so. It's like it looks like a police baton. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so.
Has anyone
17.
accepted a police baton?
In the ass.
Yeah. I did an interview with Jay Wimp once where he.
You did an interview with
Oh, I
Jay?
did, yeah.
we know
busted
Jay.
his balls so fucking
I imagine
hard.
that the two of
I
you
may
together-
have kicked that motherfucker's balls harder than any other set of testicles on this planet.
Wow.
Over and over and over and over and over. He loves
She's
it.
still kicking right now,
He's
actually.
such a
right.
perv. I'm kicking in my mind right now. Over.
And is there some kind of
He took the business end of a baseball bat, Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh good.
Yeah. I thought you'd
Damn.
be-
He's down. He's a
Yeah,
good
You know,
guy.
well, the clip that I used for the sound effects for the interview because it was an audio program was I can't remember the woman's name. I'll have to check it, but it was boxing gloves
Yes.
from behind. It just the sound was
Mistress
so perfect.
Kara.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly.
I
Thank you
love
very
her.
much.
watch too much porn.
Do you really?
Do you really? Is there too much porn?
Yeah.
No.
we watch porn for a lot of different reasons. We watch porn for it's hot. We want to research. We like to see what people are doing.
Lighting techniques.
No, really.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And it's hot.
Scoping out
Porn's
models.
fucking hot.
What's the mic placement situation? Because I'm always curious because, there's some porn clips that have just rotten sound.
Yeah.
But yours don't. And so what have you found the best method for that?
It's interesting because shooting at Kink, they just use a directional mic where
The little Rode thing on?
Yeah. A little Rode, the big Rode. And then, but other places you go, especially in LA a lot, and for kind of vanilla mainstream beige type stuff, they will, get the boom mic and start doing dolly shots. And kind of a ridiculous amount of production for a 15-minute fuck scene, honestly. But it's kind of nice. I'm a film nerd in so much as I like to make the movies and I like to be around people who make the movies. So it's always fascinating. And I like it when people will jump through a lot of hoops just to make a fuck film. That's,
right.
Yeah.
Appreciate that in 2018.
For sure.
As budgets are dwindling.
Yeah. Well, I'm always fascinated when something like a look advertising, you check out a preview of it and you think, this sounds bad. Like there's no possible way.
I bet you feel very strong about that.
Yeah,
I do. Yes, I do. I feel very, very strongly about that. And also, there has to be a lot of verbal in the clip.
Yeah.
I find that if it's not, if it's just I'm out in a few minutes.
I like that. I think it's funny.
It's
I think
more
they're
natural
like,
to me.
wow. Wow.
And then it starts getting that repetitive.
Yeah.
Same,
Or like
same octave.
The cat meow?
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like. It's like a cat in heat.
Yeah.
This is what it sounded like. Yeah.
Wow. Don't stop. Please don't stop.
It's so good.
Keep coming.
You're fulfilling my dreams right now.
Oh, baby.
Wow.
Oh.
Oh, baby. Wow. You really know how to put it there. You really know how to take it there. You really know how to drive it home.
Yeah, I think the verbal is actually what led me to discover basically Dom videos.
Yeah, interesting. So
Yes. Yes.
You
I'm
know
a big
Kik.com
fan.
then, I'm assuming.
Yes, I do very well.
we heard you mentioning the sale on one of the other videos previously, and I was like,
right.
they do watch the Kink and Burn
and
certain
actually,
of it.
and I had signed up for an account when I interviewed Jay, and I was about to possibly interview Matrice Madeleine, but did I pronounce that correctly? Because I always think I'm not correcting it. So
exactly.
Please. Well, then help me out. Correct me.
Yeah, you say it.
Well, she's going as Madeline Marlowe now.
Yeah.
She doesn't go by
I can't
Matrice
say
anymore.
Matrice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't roll my
Matrice,
R's. That's
is it
my problem.
Matrice?
I've
I
had
just-
my ass royally handed to me over not being able to
Yeah, no,
pronounce
she
that
choked
properly.
me, I think,
That would
with
be
that whip
literally
when I
right.
said her name wrong.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
When she first started shooting in Kink, she felt very strong about it and did a lot of educating people. And now I know how to say it. I just can't actually
Well,
still
because
say
it's
it.
right. I know what you mean. It's like a word that you've gotten, like you've misspelled too many times. You're like, it's not up to me. I can't do it anymore.
I can't roll my R's. It doesn't matter.
So Madeline Marlowe, then I'll say.
Madeline Marlowe.
Yes.
She sounds like a.
She's lovely and wonderful and one of our dear friends. Yeah.
You would be a big fan of her work.
Oh yeah,
You like Lance Hart, right? She does a lot of
I
stuff
like
with
the
Lance.
song.
And she loves Lynch movies.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
cool.
does a lot of creepy things.
Yeah, she makes beautiful porn.
Cool.
She does. Yeah.
Yeah, she's in Vegas now.
I was going to ask you now. So there's a couple things I want to talk about the legislation nonsense that's been
Yes,
going on.
thank
But
you.
Of course, it's very important. But first, I'm a little confused about what's happened to Kink at the Armory. So it's not there anymore.
No, they sold the Armory.
They sold the Armory.
Dismantled
They moved.
all the parts, and now they have just sort of a new office building where they don't produce porn out of anymore.
Oh, weird. Okay, so did they
They've-
outsource that to just?
People like us.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
And, some of the similar people, it was really a business structure change, especially where instead of having maybe 4 or 5 directors do all their directing, they kind of opened it up to many people. And a lot, like elsewhere in the industry, usually there's not the umbrella company office.
Yeah.
And honestly, the legislation is a huge part of that because OSHA is constantly up our asses. And if you have a publicly known location, they can kind of come and decide to
Anytime.
fine you whenever they feel
Really?
like it.
Okay,
Absolutely.
Which
right,
could be
right,
hundreds
right.
of thousands of dollars and
Yeah.
kind of sink your company. So I think a
Damn.
lot of people have closed their kind of brick and mortar location, which I don't know, as a model and as a pervert or whatever, is kind of sad because it was definitely a bit of a touchstone for everyone.
It was a magical time too, and we were a big part of, you know, the upper floor specifically, which was one of their sites. Was you know, we helped build that from the ground up, and so it was interesting when it moved, it just disappeared.
Right.
16,000 square foot Edwardian great house, just gone.
Oh wow.
Damn.
Yeah. It was,
Yeah, it's kind of like
it was nuts.
It's almost like a record label or something. Like Warner Brothers
Yeah,
isn't really
for
Warner
sure.
Brothers anymore, you know. But in this,
Yeah.
so
Yes.
Kink was sort of like the '70s Warner Brothers.
Yeah, we had
for-
to come and like rescue our fancy
Our
paintings off the
portraits
wall.
and things.
Yeah.
and
I'm
Stuck
pillows
with like
and
a wall-size version of my own naked ass.
Yeah.
Now that I'm not sure what I'm gonna do
we
with.
we have a lot of paintings of us now in the house. We're like, this is
There's
a vision
there's
and
a
a
scale
delight.
difference.
But yeah, no, that was recent, and well, it took a long time though. It was a slow process that didn't happen overnight. That happened over the course of, I would say, a couple years. But finally, they're completely out, totally out of
Okay.
the building.
Yeah, that's too bad.
It
That's a
is too
shame.
bad.
And my next question about that is, so did because I'm a little confused about this, the condom laws with porn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So where did it start? Is it in effect in San Francisco or no?
Technically, there are statewide regulations that can get you into trouble, and it's particularly in regards to OSHA compliance.
Okay.
basically.
Okay.
The condom law specifically was LA County and the surrounding kind of areas here. So when you hear condom law, that's kind of what most people are talking about.
Sure.
But a lot of the same concepts that were in the condom law were kind of taken and formulated into some very strange regulations now that the industry is expected to kind of follow, set by OSHA, and condom use is one of them.
And when did that take effect in terms of really affecting porn? Because for those who don't know, listening, the Valley in LA was like if you go see Boogie Nights, like that is really how it was in the
Yeah.
Valley. And then that changed. At what point was it that that sort of stopped?
I want to say maybe two years ago that
Yeah.
really people started, the industry started getting complicated because it started out small. It was like LA County, but then it was
Sure.
like Simi Valley and the blah, 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 and all the tiny little townships and municipalities and expanding. So people would drive farther out. They're like, oh, you come downtown for work. Now you're here. Now you're in the Valley. Okay, now we're in Irvine.
Have you
Until
seen
like,
Anaheim?
yeah, until you're really not even in Los Angeles
Right.
anymore, to
Right.
be honest.
Yeah.
And so it has kind of, I mean, there's still a lot of porn here. Like, it's going to take a long time
Well,
before we really let go.
Sure.
But
Good. But what's
It's-
causing the migration to Vegas?
so
lot of
it
people.
was the condom law.
Condom law.
It was the condom
Okay.
law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now, things are even more complicated for sex workers. There's always some kind of impending governmental doom. And right now, Sesta Fosta is the
The big one.
legislation
That
that we're
bitch.
all...
I hate her. I hate her.
Sesta Fosta.
Sesta Fosta.
You know, we
Fosta,
tried
that
barring her
bitch.
from the club,
Oh,
but she
God.
just keeps coming back.
Storm
we told
it.
her, we're you're not going to get tipped, and there's no paycheck for you here.
Yeah, the kids don't
Get
want
out.
to see it. Your songs are rotten. You don't even know the words, and we're sick of watermelon bubblegum.
Yeah, she won't give her the music to the DJ on a thumb drive, and she keeps trying to bring those CDs, and we don't have any. You suck. Get out. We don't
she's
like
playing,
you.
No, she's playing it off her phone. She
YouTube.
doesn't have. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
She's just,
she doesn't have YouTube Red. Are you kidding?
she's-
Have you seen her? Have you seen her? No.
and she brought in cough syrup, and she was butt chugging it in the dressing room, and that
She
makes
wouldn't
the girls
share,
really
by the way.
uncomfortable.
She wouldn't share.
Yeah.
That was the part.
So
that-
rude.
Sesta Fosta.
Sesta Fosta.
No, what the fuck is that?
Oh, so it's funny because there's always different crusades, and before it was all about obscenity, but now we are in the land of sex trafficking.
Oh.
trafficking.
Yeah.
Sex trafficking.
The government's been slowly shutting down all of the Lady of the Evening websites like Backpage and
Okay.
SF Redbook was
Oh,
a big
right,
one.
and then Craigslist, the
Excuse me.
yeah, the
Casual-
Craigslist erotic services
Erotic
section,
services,
even the
casual
personals are
encounter.
down now.
encounters, a thing of the past.
Thing of the
Absolutely gone.
past.
Even the
Crazy.
Reddit sort of casual
Took
meeting
their
took it down.
off.
Oh,
Because
wow.
the thing that happened with Sesta Fosta is there was a law on the books that basically protected companies from user-generated content and whatever illegalities may be involved in it. They're
Okay.
like, we're Twitter. We don't know what this random person is doing. Like, we can't have any control over whether they're trying to hook it off our platform. Like, we don't know. And there was a law in the books that basically said it wasn't their fault legally. And Sesta Fosta changed that. Basically, it took away all of that legal protection. And so a lot of companies now, it's not like it's law, like you're not allowed to touch us, but they won't do it now because it puts them in a very precarious position. So everyone's doing a lot more censorship. Yeah, exactly. And it was interesting to see how it hit because it was everything from Backpage, where it is very specifically towards adults meeting each other in person, but also Instagram hashtags that were banned, and like the Craigslist personals and the Reddit personals, and like anything that could possibly be construed wrongly, which is, I mean, it's everything.
That's everything.
Yeah.
It's gone so far. It's now it's impossible.
I had no idea it was that extensive and insane.
Yeah. And we've been dealing with getting shadow banned.
What's that?
Essentially, nobody can find you. Like you exist, but you don't actually, in the algorithms,
Okay,
you just don't
Remove
show
you
up. They
from
remove
search
you.
results.
They won't kick you off the platform, but no
And you're
one.
not banned. You're not restricted. You're not suspended. You can keep
You're just
going
invisible.
on.
No one can see you, so therefore you might as well be.
Yeah.
Right.
They'll shadow ban you for saying words like lesbian. Not even in like a lesbian sex, like we're trying to sell lesbian sex, but just lesbian in general.
Right.
Things that make no sense whatsoever.
Right. Like a phrase like "I am lesbian" or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's interesting how far it's gone. And it's going to continue to spread.
Well, what can people do if they are opposed to that, which most right-thinking Americans should be?
Yeah.
Well, we yelled at the internet for a long time before it passed.
I know, but not not that long, because the thing about legislation like this, which is very interesting, is it was a bipartisan bill. It's something that hand-wringing white liberals find troubling. It's something that conservative Christians find troubling, and it makes us, the workers, incredibly troubled because it makes it very easy for them to pass laws like this. And this went through both houses and was signed by Donald Trump faster than like any other law. Like, it was really insane. There was no time for public comment. There was no time for By the time people reacted, it was too late.
Yeah.
So, and that's kind of what we're dealing with now.
There's nothing else really going on that needs looking at.
Yeah,
That's why.
Definitely.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But there's a website. It's called survivorsagainstsesta.org, and it has excellent, much more articulate than I can even be talking points on the issue, and people you can donate to.
Yes.
Oh,
It just seems like a part of a moral crusade, huh?
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Which is always a bullshit smokescreen to sort of keep people away from the shit that's actually going on. Because why shouldn't people be able to?
The actual plight of human trafficking is just kind of ridiculous. I don't know. We like to use this weird trope in America, like there's all these underage prostitutes, just underage tutors, just walking around everywhere, and just
the goddamn pimps and
tooting everywhere,
getting
getting trafficked left and right. But honestly, most underage sex workers are runaways. They're people who had trouble in their family life, like they left home probably for a reason and semi-trafficked themselves. I don't know, but it doesn't matter because organizations will cling to the numbers, and it's something that people who have absolutely no idea about the actual issue will get behind it in that moral crusade manner. And
in the time-honored tradition of the
and
government
it sounds good.
I
mean, like
that.
Are we against sex trafficking? Absolutely. Sex, non-consensual sex slavery. It sounds terrible.
I quite like it. I don't know. I mean,
you're in the crate though with Mario. So.
As long as he pushes that dingling through, I say make it all legal.
No.
Yeah.
It was the same problem with the condom law because, should adults wear condoms when they have sex? It sounds normal. Sounds reasonable. Like, we all do it at home. Like, we pressure our kids to do it. It's like, it's what we're expected to do as part of our sexual health. But it doesn't take into account the nuance of what it's like to actually
shoot porn.
Be a sex worker and to literally fuck for 6 hours straight. Like, you wearing a condom for that is actually really incredibly uncomfortable and
Yeah.
can cause like micro tears in the skin, which can actually
really?
transmit infections easier. Not
wow.
Well,
make
hands
it more
on, hands
difficult.
off, condoms on,
You know,
condoms
it makes
off,
sense.
and gloves and dirt, and
Yeah,
you know,
makes
it's
sense.
like
Just, I hadn't thought about that.
You definitely
Yeah.
don't go through one condom per shoot. I'll tell you
No.
that
What?
I mean, a few months ago, I was having sex, and I think I used like 4, and it wasn't even that long.
yeah,
Right?
Absolutely.
It was maybe like an
Exactly.
hour.
yeah, because you don't always want to leave it on. There's parts that you want to take it off.
That's
for.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was we went through a whole little
Range of,
6-pack.
It's a dance.
yeah.
It's a song and dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was they strangled me a little bit.
Yeah.
But you know,
Your partner or the? Oh, sorry.
that was nice.
but there's the irritation there. Anyways.
No, I
No,
think
there
that
is,
was
and it's-
definitely one of the weirdest things I've done is sat across from a U.S. senator and, you know, in a small group of industry people tried to explain, like, you know, why, even though this sounds very logical,
Yeah.
we're fucking, we wear a condom, and it's simple. That's actually more complicated than that.
Yeah.
And also, you would be testing all the time, right? For
Yes, we
Yeah.
test every 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
And so it's really less than that because with business days and
Sure.
the actual
More like 10
result
days.
schedule,
Yeah,
it's more
every
like
10 days.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's a lot of testing, you guys.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of
Really
testing.
is.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, are you really going to give more blood? Luckily, I have like dump veins, so,
Gives it up real easy.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of testing.
It
Yeah,
is.
and we used to be on a 30-day cycle, but now we're on a 2-week cycle, and it's expensive.
Yeah. You pay for it.
Yeah.
What are the numbers in terms of porn performers who have actually tested positive for HIV or AIDS or whatever?
So the last confirmed on-set transmission, and the way we say confirmed is you are saying you got it on set, so that means at least 2 people have to test positive for HIV, usually, you know, people who have had contact with each other. But the last confirmed case was in 2004.
Right. So, and before that,
You know, there was a period, especially in the 70s and 80s, obviously,
80s,
where
yeah.
everyone was
Oh, well,
having a bit of
sure.
a, you know, it was a struggle for our industry too. And I think that's basically when a lot of our very stringent testing protocols kind of
Started.
came into place.
since those protocols have been put in place, it's very few and far between.
Very
It's
few and far between.
incredibly few and far between.
And so
Yeah.
the constant meddling and the constant finger pointing
Yeah,
is
and it's
really
hard, and
ridiculous.
it's from
Yeah,
weird
it's-
places. With the condom law, the main proponent and the person who completely
who was that
sponsored the
guy?
bill was Michael Weinstein from the AIDS Healthcare Foundation.
Oh, that's right.
They run out of the closet. They have their own pharmacies.
Yeah.
They do a lot of AIDS patient care and HIV testing and training and all that stuff, and ostensibly a lot of good works. But Michael Weinstein decided that porn not displaying condoms was, you know, supporting bad behavior and teaching the kids bad habits, and that Truvada is just a party drug. You know, it's,
So someone with good intentions who gets too carried away
Yeah.
with their
Absolutely.
overall thing and then starts thinking that they know about things they don't actually know is bad in any industry and or with any kind of effort, no matter how helpful to the community.
exactly. And they have a lot of money. They have a lot of
Yeah.
money to
Ton.
dump into the issue. If anyone ever has a bad experience in the industry, they will kind of
Harp on it
take them,
forever.
make them their poster child, and
Oh,
financially
sure.
support them and bring them to every government hearing, every
Wow.
meeting that we have, and start. It's massive amounts of campaigning against sex. It's fascinating.
I'm trying to think of like what I mean. Placing
How
the
to do your campaign against
yeah.
sex?
I'm trying. Yeah, because I would just want to rule out sex
Well, you
across
want to
the
actually,
board.
you actually want to make it impossible.
Yeah,
in
I would say
certain
no more
situations.
sex.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just it's too
Well,
much.
you have a campaign song
too
for that.
much.
You remember your campaign song?
I do.
Let's see. I think this is it.
Yeah.
It goes a little something
Yeah.
like,
No more sexuals for anyone. It doesn't work. It's really gross.
it's the road to ruin.
Destruction and death await you round the corner when you turn on your sexuals.
Because good people don't have sex. We all know that for true.
If you have sex, you will die the next day. That's all I'm here to say.
And they might die while they're inside of you.
Don't kill for sex.
Don't sex for kill. It's not worth The thrill, no.
Or the bill.
Oh, we can't get the bill. Let's get that bill out of Congress.
Yeah. Running up that hill to say, don't do it.
Kate Bush, not the other kind of Bush, is the only one for me. Yeah.
Wait, I'm trying to find out. Like, I'm trying to think about what responsibility that porn has to dictate the habits and of the children's.
Right? Porn is not sex education.
It's
It's
not.
absolutely
it's not.
not.
Just like movies are not home training. Like,
Right.
it's
Yeah, right,
a
exactly.
fantasy.
Wait,
Yeah.
what? Hold on
I don't
a
know. I saw
second.
this thing about the kid getting kidnapped, and so now I know when that happens to me what
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Or when the aliens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I Am Legend really helped me figure out how to do a lot of things.
Yeah, and E.T.
mainly turn the film off. But
like got me started in drag.
yeah, also got you hooked on Reese's Pieces.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, okay, yeah, because I don't. Porn is not sex education.
It is not.
Porn is
And
not sex
the
education.
problem is that we also don't really do sex education in this country.
We sure
Yeah, that's
don't.
right.
general.
So
We
Yeah.
sure don't.
Yeah.
by default, people tend to learn from porn. And I think that's why it's so frustrating when the small things happen, when the lesbian hashtags on Instagram are deactivated,
Yeah.
when the gay community is kept from talking about their community issues on YouTube.
Yeah.
That hurts people. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
in their real lives, and it leads to just ridiculous fantasy play being, you know, a tutorial, which it shouldn't be, and that's the worst. So that always is an interesting thing for me, because that's the nuance I really think about, like, for, you know, past all the condoms or whatever, but like, if I fake an orgasm in porn, am I teaching men
To
bad
do that?
precedence?
Oh my God!
That's a
what
really,
what a
that's a really
philosophical
interesting. Yeah.
conundrum.
It's
Let's
true,
get into that.
though.
Let's get into that.
You
We got
know,
into the legislation.
bad
Let's get
habits.
into bad. Let's get into some
Bad
bad
habits.
Because porn teaches all kinds of things that are terrible.
Oh,
they like
like
to
what?
they like to hide the lube. We just pretend like holes are just dripping over.
That
They're
is
just,
just
they're
glistening.
just ejaculating
Yeah.
and
Glistening.
Glistening, yeah,
no,
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
naturally
No.
shiny and hairless.
No,
Yeah.
like suddenly just the puswacha is moist.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
No.
Put your work in, bitch.
exactly
Get
that.
down there. Get done.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
ready for you.
Yeah.
We saw
no.
Puswatch at one
Puss
time,
Watcher,
right?
yeah, she was Dusty Tornado down at the ArcLight.
That's right. I
Yeah,
love that
she
double
was
bill.
great.
That's right. The ArcLight. They really did it up there.
Yeah.
They tie on the Hooter
She
like
was
you wouldn't believe.
great.
Queen Puswacha.
Puss Watcher.
Yeah.
What
What's some other bad habits?
So, well, I really enjoy, I don't know if this is a bad habit, but I really enjoy making small penis humiliation clips.
Oh, let's get into that because we were talking about
Because-
JOI before.
Yeah.
And let's define that for those who don't know.
JOI.
So
jerk
JOI
off.
is
Off instruction.
Yes.
Jerk off instruction.
And there's also jerk off encouragement, which is
Yeah.
somewhat
Yes.
different. But now, what's the difference
JOE?
between the two of those for those who don't know?
So, JOI can run the gambit. I think if you are specifically looking for the tag encouragement, like, you need to get out more. But no, it's,
You need to get your hand off your dick is what you probably need to do.
it just is very supportive.
Yeah.
Whereas a regular jerk off instruction video, you might get a little bit of humiliation and some teasing and some taunting. You don't have to, but you could. There could be some teasing, some
No,
taunting.
but no, what
but
is
the
the-
encouragement will be like only positive things
Like,
about jerking
doing
off. No
so
shaming
well.
you. No shame.
You're doing so well.
Look at you,
Yeah.
bud.
Look
Hey,
at it. Just
baby.
look
Your
at
mommy's
it.
good boy.
Yeah. Wow. You're
Yeah,
Mommy
mommy's
likes
good boy.
it.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
no!
yeah.
Yeah.
Really, like, wow! Look at you! You're really going to town on that thing.
You're doing such a great
Oh my
job.
God.
Yeah,
It's
there's
so
a lot of that
impressive.
sort of
It's
stuff.
almost
yeah.
like your aunt didn't just die. You completely blocked it out of your mind. You're really staying on task.
Well, a lot of
your
men-
ADHD isn't flaring up at all.
It's okay you're thinking about your dead aunt who just died. It's fine because you're doing it just right. The girls are all going to be proud of you
Oh
one
my
day whenever
God.
you touch one.
Yeah.
You can show off your skills.
JOI.
It's so someone wants to have some. They can't necessarily see you in person, but they want you to sort of control
Oh.
how they jerk off, and so
Faster, slower,
yeah, faster,
tighter.
take your
Nah.
hand off, stop
Yeah.
touching, put it
can
back,
be a
grab,
game.
squeeze.
Okay, gotcha.
Every time I say the word
Countdowns.
pussy, yeah, countdowns are huge.
Countdown.
Countdown, like now to what?
To the coming.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Decapitation.
To total moral
Death and
degradation.
destruction.
If you don't read all the fine print, you don't know what you're about to get into. So it's
And
like
slice.
Yeah, it's like keep jerking it. Oh, and now the decapitation.
Decapitation.
Yeah.
That sounds
Yeah.
like more fun to me.
Isn't that exciting?
Oh my
That I
god.
thought would be more up your alley. In a
What
manner of
about what's the
speaking.
most? I mean, I'm sure this is the stupidest question, but like the most.
Oh, I'm sure we can top it no matter what.
I'm trying to think of like something that is what befuddles you at this point, if anything. Is anything throw you for a loop? Any requests that like?
Yeah. And it's an awkward one for me. It's one I don't
Ooh.
partake in,
God. Is
which
it
would
really
be
dark?
race play.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay,
no.
yeah. That seems like
That's
it's,
awkward.
Yeah.
That's awkward. I don't want old white men calling to hear me say the N-word. You can fuck right off.
Yeah, no, ma'am.
You know, or it can be someone who is of that race who wants to be humiliated for being that race, which it's complicated.
So basically,
Maybe
Yeah.
go see someone from your race and let them deal with that
Sure.
complicated issue, because I just
Stay
can't.
away from it.
Yeah.
Or
Stay right
someone
out of it.
who has their own problems. Who
Yeah.
can, maybe they can find mutually beneficial problems.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
degradation is fun, but
Yeah.
that just sort of crosses a line.
It's the one
Yeah.
place I recognize my privilege, and I
yeah,
know about leave
have
it to
no
others.
interest in going.
Yeah.
There's a cousin to JOI, since
Oh, which one-
which you
which
might
is that?
CEI.
Yes,
Come
it's
eating
my fucking
instructions.
Look at the light in your eyes.
We love
at
it.
that.
Can I tell you why? Can I
Eat
tell
it
you
up.
why it's so fucking awesome?
Okay.
Because every man wants to eat his own cum until he comes.
Yep.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
You
Of
can't
course.
eat it unless you come.
It's such a
And then the second you
conundrum.
come, you're like, oh, that's horrifying and I'm disgusting. And I don't know who talked me into doing this. I don't want to do this anymore. This is terrible. And that's when my fun starts. I'm
Yeah, that's when the good stuff happens.
No, I'm like, I'm going to need you to put your face really
Right
close to it
next
and
to
just
it.
wait. Let it get cold first.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
so you really-
It's
man.
gonna coagulate.
You like to really make it
Yeah,
the
yeah.
proper.
Yes.
so-
we
yeah.
always have them
Humiliation
get out a little
tool.
plate or a platter first. We want
Oh,
it properly
interesting.
presented.
Uh-huh.
Or
Not
if
on the
they're
hands,
flexible,
no.
you just
Okay.
bend them back and do it straight into your own
Yeah.
mouth.
Oh,
Put
yeah,
it
that's a
in.
fun one.
A little pile driver, a little self pile driver.
Yeah.
Good times.
They love to show off. If they can do
They
that,
do.
they really like to show you. I
Oh,
find
the self-suck.
proud
or
of
the- oh,
themselves.
that's-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And that's really where a lot of this comes in. Jerk off addicts, you know, people who just, they really spend a lot of time
Touching it.
jerking off,
They do- yeah.
watching porn,
Sure.
preparing to jerk off, talking to you about how they're going to jerk off as soon as they get home from work.
calling you after they've jerked off, wanting to talk about the next time they're going to jerk off.
Oh, really? Is
Wondering
there
if
a
you're
lot
going to
of
be
that about
available
the-
for the next one. Yeah,
Okay.
People
Or they're
call us-
hiding in the shower and wife's
Yeah.
downstairs, just couldn't help myself somehow.
which she
Gotta
doesn't
jerk off.
actually ever exist, by the way. That's just
Oh,
the story.
sure.
The
It's
wife
a
is never
story.
downstairs.
No, she's
no.
not.
He's alone. He's alone with this fucking cat. But
Oh, but why does it have to be a cat?
because they're not
Not a-
usually responsible enough for a dog.
Okay, that's fair.
True.
That's fair. That's
Semi-independent.
totally fair. Yeah.
As
Smart.
two people that have 5 dogs.
Yeah.
Five dogs.
dogs.
We do,
Wow.
yeah.
And a cat.
And a cat.
Oh my god.
Well, we have 2 houses, so
Oh well, look. What must be nice? Must be nice. Yeah.
we have the roof. Look, we lived in tiny San Francisco apartments forever. We finally have yards, and it's exciting.
Oh,
That's
that's
great.
great.
Flexing our muscles.
Congratulations.
We have our little rescue babies. They're very
What are
sweet.
their names?
Bowie.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
I'm quite
yeah,
a Bowie fan.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Big Bowie
What's your
fan.
favorite Bowie album?
Oh my god.
If you can pick, and if not, I like to go to the pick 3.
Ooh.
The one with Laughing Gnome, obviously. That's the.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed. I like Heathen. Actually,
I
a
love that
ton.
album too.
I fucking love Heathen.
I argue
And
with people who don't like Latter Day Bowie, and I'm like, you just haven't listened to
well,
it.
I love
Yeah.
all old Bowie. I love,
Yeah.
I love the Diamond Dogs. I love
Diamond Dogs
Ziggy.
might be my
yeah,
favorite
Diamond
of all
Dogs is
time.
a top 3 for me
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
I think, and he was just the first man I was ever in love with. So really, any and all Bowie.
Yeah.
He was so beautiful.
I like Fruity Barn.
Fruity Barn is a good one.
Fruity Barn was
I mean,
great.
I do.
But not to be eclipsed by Wagon Wheel.
No,
Because
well,
a lot of
Wagon
people
Wheel-
don't.
you do
know,
love
they
Wagon
forget
Wheel.
about that, and I just like, hey, I'm not the biggest
I'm
Bowie
sung
fan,
hero.
A
but
sampling of that
Yeah.
right now. Actually, this is
Oh,
Wagon
yeah.
Wheel,
This is
right?
Wagon Wheel. Yep.
Yeah. You know the lyrics to it better than
I do. Yeah. It's like hopping on my big old wagon wheel.
Wagon
Tell
wheel.
me.
I know the backup,
Oh,
so.
yeah. Tell me, Joanne, how does it feel?
Joanne.
Not an octopus. That's a 5-armed eel.
It's sounding time.
Can't come up with a way to drop the seal. Oh, wagon wheel.
Wagon wheel.
Yeah, I don't
Wagon
want.
wheel.
I don't want
How do you feel?
Yeah,
Wagon
I don't want to
wheel.
do any more.
I remember. I remember the chorus. I remember the chorus. Wagon wheel.
Yeah.
How do you feel? Wagon wheel.
Yeah.
It's too real.
It's too
Wagon
real.
wheel. Let's get some veal.
Yep.
Wagon wheel. I like it teal.
I like it teal.
I like
That
it
was
teal.
the-
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So, okay. Wait, how old are you?
I am 31.
31.
Am I?
36.
Am I 31?
Me
I'm
too.
31.
36.
Yeah, we're born a month apart, I think. I'm June 2nd.
June 2nd, May 1st.
Yeah, so we're
There you
close.
go.
Yeah.
Happy
There you go.
recentish birthday. When's your birthday?
July 29th.
Oh, well, happy
She's
coming
an
out in the
out-
future.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Feel free to
coming.
hit up that wish
Yeah.
list. No.
Cherrytorn.
That's right.
Cherrytorn.com/spoil.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to make her birthday the
Or-
right, yeah.
What did what's the craziest thing you have somebody buy off a wish list?
Oh.
Shit.
Well, we have
A Honda
say-
CRV.
Yeah.
I would say the last person who really went on a spree and
just
like
bought everything.
Just everything.
cleared it.
Really?
We put it on there and they'd buy
Cleared it off.
more. Just like
cleared off. That's why we
And
finally
again-
just joined it because it was easier
Yeah.
just to get people to do.
that was crazy. It was almost inconvenient. Like it was so much. It was almost inconvenient. You know?
Must be nice.
You're
And
like,
like,
now I have 3 of these. I didn't expect people to get to the full back of this list. I'm not
Yeah.
prepared.
Yeah, people have bought lots of things. Hot tubs and jewelry.
Really? Wow.
Video camera,
computers.
Fantastic,
Yeah,
yeah.
IMAX.
Furniture and art.
Lots of furniture, lots of art.
A few fans had reached out to us. They said that we should start a wish list for certain
You should.
things.
You
Yeah,
should.
and I think
Yeah.
we absolutely will. Yeah.
I did one a little bit. I don't know how long ago it was.
Yeah.
Like as a goof. And it got snatched up immediately, and then I was like, I just felt guilty, so I didn't put it. in.
Why?
But they get fulfilled,
You
right?
give people
Yeah.
joy.
They like
You
it,
give
yeah.
people
They do.
joy and happiness.
And then they get to feel like they've weaseled their way into
Yeah,
your
into
life.
your
a little
life.
bit. And I mean that in the nicest way possible.
It's
Like,
true.
Yeah.
you want to buy me a grill pan, bitch? Every time
You're
I'm
taking care of
grilling,
me.
I am thinking
it's
of you.
True.
It's true,
And
yeah.
they really do love to buy that sort of mundane bullshit.
Right.
Like there's the people who want to buy you, panties and dildos and
Yeah,
whatnot.
sure.
But most people just want to buy you kitchen knives and
Yeah, like,
towels.
a blender.
Everyday
blender,
things
yeah,
that
they're
are
like
part
they're
of your life.
They're
yeah.
used. I
A
can just
bath
see
mat.
exactly.
Yeah.
yeah, which is nice.
By the way-
Flushable wet wipes.
Oh, yeah. Those are great.
Curtain rods.
Flushable curtain rods.
Yep.
I've definitely acquired both of those things.
Yeah, we have stacks and stacks and stacks. Actually, someone just bought us 10 pairs of curtains off their wish list because we
Really?
need it. Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah,
Do
we
you
need
switch
to-
them out like once? I feel like regularly.
I have to be careful because they
Yeah.
always usually buy the stuff that's at the top.
So you wanna make sure
gotta
it's
make sure.
curated.
And
Oh, I
if
meant
you
the
buy
curtains, yeah.
something,
Oh,
that's
I switch
on
out my
there-
curtains every 90 days, really.
Okay.
Depending on the season.
Sure.
I have the
Oh,
OCDC,
wow.
so I have to constantly
Oh,
be
it's just 'cause
changing my
earlier you
space.
said don't mind if I start organizing things.
Yeah, no, I've already reorganized your apartment in my head. I'm ready.
I understand. So tell me what's the
Do you wanna
most
come over
offensive
to my
thing?
house?
Yeah, yeah.
What's
Oh,
the biggest
it's
offender
therapeutic
for
for
you
me.
of the lack of organization?
Well, the records are. You
Not
think
Alf?
you know?
You know? Yeah. Tell me.
Take the guess. I want to know.
Well, tell
You have
us.
a lot of dangly cables.
Yeah, you
in
have a
this
lot of
room.
dangly
Well,
cables.
that's true. That's true.
I'm
that's
sure
sort
you
of in
have,
a, yeah.
have a lot of those.
Are your records
Your
I
organized?
eyes-
see the cables.
Wait, Sophie, they're not alphabetized.
They're not. I know. That's what I'm saying. Your records are. The speaker blocking your fireplace is
Well,
sort of driving me
okay,
crazy.
sure.
That random amp. You've got to.
That has to move. I know there's still some things that need to be
I
done
could paint
here.
that ding on the baseboard over there. That would be
Oh.
She'd love to
Wow.
buy you a nice pack of coasters.
yeah, I would love if you could
But
put those on your wish list. I'd be happy to
however-
pick them up
That's
for you.
fantastic. Okay, that's
2
great.
scented
That's
candles
great.
and some poopery. You made our day.
Yeah, I love
That's
this
all I can
rug.
say.
Your
Okay.
couch is lovely. Your lamp is nice.
I'm glad you're enjoying the
Yeah,
apartment
yeah,
because I do have
diffuse
to.
light.
I have to do a few more wall things.
Do
I
some
have to put
art. You could have some art.
Well, I have
Yeah.
a bunch of posters. I have to get them framed.
Nice.
Yeah.
and so once I get them framed, they'll be great because I have like a Times Square poster. I don't know if you're a fan of that film. And we were talking. Well, first off, we should finish what the names of your pets are.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
also, if anyone wants a bathroom break at any time, just let us know and we can pause.
Take a tinkle arena.
Yeah.
We have. I'll start oldest to youngest. So Luna is our eldest, and then we have Tater,
Tater.
Oh.
Mr. Winston Tater. We have Mush, the counterpart to Tater.
Tater and mush.
Tater and Mush. You remember that? It was after the Turner and Hooch.
Yep. Tater and
they had,
mush.
Mush.
Tater and
Didn't-
Mush.
It wasn't on the air very long.
No.
Yeah.
But it was, they tried.
Yeah,
They
they
tried.
tried.
And then we have Mr. Banks and Bowie.
Cute.
And then our little kitty, her name is Tinkins.
Tinkins.
Oh, that's
Our-
sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a sweet old lady. She's a grandma.
How
She's
old
like
is grandma?
12.
12.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she's a little hobbler. She's missing half a foot, and she just waddles around the house yelling at everybody all day. She's very she's a very bossy lady. She's
Serious life
She
goals.
lets us have it.
You
She's
sons
"Fuck,
of bitches."
You think you're the alpha bitch? I don't think so.
There you go.
I know all the shit you guys do and everything,
Yeah.
but listen.
Honestly,
listen,
our
yeah.
animals run us, so it's
that's
fair.
so
Yeah,
funny.
everyone has to serve someone. So
Yeah.
So I have a question about tops and bottoms and doms and subs. So is it common for one's proclivity to be one or the other to change, and can you swap
Absolutely.
how common is it for people to identify uniquely with one for like their whole life course or their whole sex life, or what how does that work in your experience?
Well,
or from what you observed?
I hate to put people in categories because
Yeah.
it's difficult to really create enough that it encompasses everyone. But from what I've noticed as someone who's been in sort of the BDSM lifestyle for a long time, usually people are either very sort of set in who they are and what they're into, which is great. And even in that, there's room for exploration.
Yeah.
It's not linear.
Right.
Or they're very fluid.
Yeah.
Very, very fluid and constantly evolving. And I personally like it when people are a little more fluid because I think it lets you have more fun,
Sure.
Sure, right.
you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah. And I think dominance can sometimes come with experience. People might, and I'll just apply this to me. I started out as very submissive, and that's really what I did for a long time. I didn't always start out in my first few years with this like deep desire to dominate someone else, but I was a really self-absorbed shit in hindsight. Like I really only gave a crap about my own sensations and pleasures and whatever. And I found that my traditionally dominant tendencies kind of grew with experience.
Okay.
So, you do everything there is to do with every implement, with every type of bondage, with all sorts of different people, with new people, with experienced people,
Yeah.
and everything in between. And suddenly you become the teacher. I don't know what happens.
Just happens sort of naturally.
Yeah.
That's
Enough
interesting. So when
experience.
people wade into the pool for the first time or whatever,
For sure.
they sort of just gravitate to what their initial
Sort of naturally what makes their dick hard or their pussy wet, honestly.
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
sort of how people discover sex or sexual
Sure.
orientation in general is
Right.
where's your picker pointing?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't
know?
had that happen to me yet.
Yeah,
Is
you're
that
still
a
trying to find
problem?
something
My
that's,
my dingling
Picker
has
no
gone
point.
hard yet. Is that going to be
I
an
think
issue?
I think one day, Brian. I think
One
one
day.
day.
I'm still holding out. One day, my dingling will be hard.
One day, Mario will get out of the car and come back to my cage.
And fart.
And fart in my face.
Ladies, the next line's for your place.
This song is a disgrace.
Disgrace. Yes, it is.
Disgrace, sickness, disgrace.
What's off the is anything
Off the menu?
Off the menu. What are your like
So there's race
are there-
play, right?
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
common,
then
are there
there's-
common
no.
kink things that you're just like, I don't like that.
I don't personally like anything that's going to make someone vomit. Deep
Oh.
gag, that kind of. I'm not really into gross.
Yeah.
Pee is fine. Urine is fine because I don't think urine is really. She's our yeah. We together. This is why we're together because
We bond a lot over Katya grossing you out constantly.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
there's certain grows okay with, but that sort of too many fluids. Too
I'm
many.
just nasty. I always have been. Can't help it. Rotted to the
Yeah.
core.
Rotted
Fully
and
rotted.
gutted.
Yeah, rotted and gutted. Yeah, and I like to truly, sort of torture people. Really,
Ooh.
it's what I like.
Yeah.
I'm very much a sadist.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm very much I like creative kink. I want to have a whole adventure. I want to abduct you, like for real.
Oh, wow.
Obviously consensually.
Well,
but
sure,
plan
yeah.
it and
Waivers,
plan a whole thing
yeah.
out, and that's actually one of my favorite things.
That sounds fascinating,
is
right?
abduction
So
scenes with
Cool.
people.
Yeah. You like to be very constructed. I can be very primal, I suppose is the word someone
Ooh,
used recently.
primal.
So the pair
Primal.
of you then.
Well, instinctual.
Yeah.
Yeah, together we're quite the duo. We sort of cover
Yeah.
all bases, which is nice.
Yeah.
If I have to do anything too gross, I just take him in a side room. It's fine.
Oh, that's a smart move.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I stay and set up the next whatever. it's
And,
gonna
and what
be.
are the because you earlier talked about the dungeon will have a setup. Like, what are the most common rooms that they have like set up for? I know there's,
Medical
like,
play,
medical.
lots of medical. Usually there's some sort of traditional dungeon space that
Okay.
has a St. Andrew's cross or
Yeah.
a whipping post or
Okay.
some, there's a lot of sanctuary type spaces
that?
for religious play.
Oh my God, Sanctuary.
As we mentioned at the top of the show, this episode is sponsored by eLiquid. For 20% off your first purchase, visit eliquid.com. That's eliquid.com, by the way, /whimsical, and use the promo code whimsical during checkout. Here's the great thing about eliquid.com. They make vape shopping so much easier, easier than ever before. There's no need to leave the house in search of specific brands or products. What do you think about that?
Oh, thank God. There's nothing I dread more than leaving the house, just in general.
Of course.
So if I can stock up on all my vapey, juicy liquids by not crossing the threshold of my domicile,
Exactly.
then I'm a happy camper.
See, so you're already 2 steps ahead of the average bear.
Absolutely.
And incidentally, it's officially vaping season. Did you know that?
Is it really? I thought it was always vaping season.
I think it might be. And now it's officially always vaping season. So you can find every vaping product, for vaping season that you could ever need all in one place. And where's that? That's right. It's eliquid.com.
It's right on eliquid.com.
Right on eliquid.com, which is your favorite place to hang out.
Oh my God.
Right? You're always just doing the stroll around there.
Yeah, I'm doing donuts in the parking lot of that online web place, you know, and
Which is hard to get to unless you go to eliquid.com/whimsical.
yeah, you got to go to eliquid.com.
That's right, you do. And they have over 1,800 e-liquids, hardware, they got replacement coils, vape accessories, and DIY brands. And the grand total is over 44,000 items in stock. So you'll be all set at eliquid.com.
44,000 items. That's a pretty healthy stock.
It really is. We don't recommend ordering all of them at once. No. But, get a few at a time. And our own personal experience, as I think we've sort of, inferred, is delightful because you never have to leave the house and you can order, banana flavored, coffee flavored, whatever flavor floats your e-liquid
Blueberry,
boat.
raspberry,
Exactly.
cookies and cream, whatever.
Whether you're on your smartphone, computer, or whatever, eliquid.com's website will offer one of the most user-friendly shopping experiences around. Industry-leading, amazingly fast shipping, with most orders shipping the same day when ordered by 2 p.m. Pacific time.
That's incredibly fast shipping, Craig.
It is laser fast, if that's a speed. Anyway,
I think it is.
I think it is too. That's where I like to move at, laser speed. And its best-in-class customer service is available to help you Monday through Saturday.
Wowee.
One last time, we just want to remind you that for 20% off your first purchase, visit eliquid.com/whimsical. Use promo code whimsical during checkout. Remember, during checkout. And you get a nice 20% deal.
And that's WHIMSICAL, just for the illiterates at home.
Exactly right. Wait, you have a steamer trunk
full of dicks.
That's
Yeah,
great. Now,
I do.
Yeah, no, describe a few of the more novel ones, I suppose.
Oh, well, the most novel one. I don't think we
have a
expected him to be
fist.
serious about it. Oh, I was thinking the gray one.
Oh, yeah. That's the size of
It's,
my thigh.
you
Wow.
see them out on tables sometimes.
They're
Yeah,
just giant
like-
sculptural.
Kind of like a
Yeah.
Clockwork Orange. There's that moment where,
Yeah, like, bigger than the big water flasks. Like, bigger than a baseball. Bigger.
Well, but we held
Yeah.
hands inside of that man's asshole.
Oh
Oh,
my God.
wow.
It was very romantic.
How long does it take
Double
from...
fisting?
Yeah, we held hands inside of him. It was wonderful.
So I'd like to know just like the span of time from when, you first start warming the ass up until you're holding hands inside. And also, is that dependent on the person's prior experience?
Absolutely. You
Absolutely.
can't do that unless you have worked up to
Sure.
it. I don't
Yeah.
suggest it. I don't.
Yeah, no, it didn't seem
absolutely
like it
not.
would be the right way to go.
No.
But so say, obviously, so it's someone who's experienced with this. How long does it take from there's nothing going on there until you're both inside?
20 minutes.
I was going to say for this particular person, not very long. Like
It was
20
like
minutes.
20 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But for the average person,
Yeah.
with just sort of regular pegging, whatever that might be.
Sure.
It's usually pretty gradual. You start with fingers, and then you get 2, 3, 4, and then a
Sure.
plug, and then a
30, 40 minutes, an hour.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's a sensitive canal. There's only so much back and forth
Yeah.
action it really wants
Yeah.
until it's like, please leave me alone now.
yeah.
I have blown my wad.
I am done. Yeah, no, and then you move into the actual fucking usually.
How many guys out there you think would, are in denial about their...
All of them.
Most. Yeah.
And tell us what
Seriously.
they're in denial of. This is
They're afraid of their butthole. Men are
Yeah.
taught to be afraid of their buttholes, and
Right.
it's ridiculous. There's all sorts of magic up there.
Yeah.
It
is
feels
silly.
fucking great.
Yeah, like the male G-spot.
Yeah, like
Your
you're
prostate.
exactly.
Like you can have hands, I can
Hands free is
reach
big
inside
these
of your
days,
body and make you come
Multiple
without ever
times.
touching your dick one
Yeah.
time.
Men can have multiple orgasms, and they miss out on that a lot
Right.
because they aren't willing to play with their butt.
God damn it.
Butts are fun.
Because
Yeah.
they think it makes them gay, but everybody has a butt. I have a butt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Well, I'm not gay.
No.
Are
So,
you gay?
We just like to know if a man is gay.
That's great.
No.
This is the first time a guest
No.
has quoted that back to us.
That one was really catchy, and we can't quit. So thank you very much.
They ask us a lot. Am I gay? We get asked that all the time.
Yeah.
This
Are
is-
they gay? They want to know. Am I gay? Because
How do you describe your sexuality?
queer.
Pansexual.
Yeah.
queers.
Pansexual.
Queer.
Yeah.
What does pansexual mean?
To me, takes it out of the binary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
Okay.
just male, not just female.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think queer does too
The
for me.
platter.
It's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
Okay, so it's very similar then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have,
Yeah, okay.
I have actually have no preference whatsoever.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
When did you
It's people. People
Yeah.
are people. When did I?
know that, or I was then going to make a people are who need people Barbara Streisand joke,
People
but
who
you know,
need people,
yeah, exactly.
people.
Yeah, that's the kind of people we are. It's people
Yeah.
who need people,
Yeah.
who like people. But when did you know that you were not, I guess, heterosexual, or how would you?
When I was very young.
Yeah.
Yeah. 5, 6 maybe.
It's so interesting for me too, because I actually had sex with a woman for the first time when I was probably 12 or 13 years old. But at the same time, I considered myself straight for a long time because I thought as a person, if I wasn't having just like constant romantic relationships, that
Yeah.
like, I don't know, it would invalidate my sexual desires. And
Interesting.
so
Yeah.
part of me kind of accepting my queer as fuck lifestyle has been to accept that like fucking women is valid, having a male partner is valid, having a female partner is valid, it doesn't matter, like your person you cohabitate with doesn't have to be the end all be all of your sexuality.
Sure.
We're also non-monogamous people.
Yeah.
So
Now, how did that start out?
Non-monogamy?
Yeah.
well, by
Sluttiness.
trying monogamy and watching it fail time and time again, attempting monogamy for years in various, relationships and having it just not work out.
Yeah.
Do you think it's just a total waste
I think
of time?
it's a failed experiment, honestly.
Okay.
I think you can have very long-term, emotionally romantic relationships with people.
Yeah.
But I think that having multiple sexual it's what comes naturally for me. I
Sure.
cannot imagine fucking one person for the rest of my life. And honestly, one of my personal kinks is watching my partner or partners fuck other people.
Oh, cool.
I
Yeah.
really, really love, even if I'm not there, I just like knowing about it. I like,
Yeah.
it's because when you really like someone, you want them to be a fully expressed person. And I'm not going to make them a fully expressed, I'm just one person.
Sure.
And I just want to be a part of their life
Uh-huh.
and celebrate who they are as an
lovely.
individual without
Yeah.
trying to control it or manipulate it in any sort of manner.
That's really lovely.
It is lovely.
And I think it really allows you to kind of take part in the specific parts of your relationship that you want. If I don't like to do X, whatever it may be, I'll use blowjobs as an example. Not reality.
Which is a lie. She was sucking my dick last night.
It's not reality, but it was on the tip of my tongue for some reason.
Tip of your tongue. Hey, whoa.
Yeah.
All right.
If I decide that I just don't give blowjobs anymore, like it doesn't have to mean that my partner never gets a blowjob in their life again. Like
Sure.
I'm not the only source of satisfaction available to them, and like that's freeing to me. as a
Yeah,
human being.
it takes the load off. Literally.
Especially as a sex worker.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want the full responsibility of that.
Yeah, having a group of partners is really spectacular. Having a group of adults, supportive adults that support one another in life in general, in and out of the bedroom, is spectacular.
Yeah,
Yes.
it is.
It's really, really wonderful.
Do you
Oh,
ever
I
have?
think it sucks.
Well, Mr. Eye rolls. He's getting into one of those moods again.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Supportive? Oh, fuck you.
Oh God, make me
Here
vomit
comes the
again.
contrarian.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's a whole load of bull pucky piece of supportive adults fucking who they want. That sucks.
These people, they're supposed to be with one person all their lives. It doesn't matter if they have fun. It's about getting the
Miserable.
dinner on the table and bringing home the bacon.
Well, I think that so often too, it can be totally played out in a extremely double standard type of way. Like,
Yeah.
we don't get to be in like a straight female-male relationship. You decide you want to have non-monogamy, and then all that means is we have a threesome with a girl. Like,
Right.
I don't think
There is
so.
a lot of that. There is a lot of
I
that,
don't
right?
think
Where it's
so.
still like, it's
Yeah.
basically Vadim and Jane Fonda, where
Yeah.
it's like, oh, he can do whatever he wants and he calls the shots.
Yeah, always looking for that unicorn third
Oh, the
single partner,
cliche.
single female partner.
It's also like what's that thing about the cool girl? Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, which is all bullshit because it's just someone stuffing their feelings down
Absolutely.
to please their partner.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And I just think it's very telling. Like, give it a turnabout fair play moment. And how does your partner react? You know,
Yeah.
can they truly have compersion for you, or is it, you know, more of something they want to?
Yeah, compersion's
do?
a tough one. And people
Yeah.
think they have it until they actually have to have it. I can't do this.
We're humans. We're all possessive in some way. You know, we have to fight that natural instinct, I think, to like sit on our toys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
Well, I thought sitting on the toys was part of the fun. I'm not sure what. Oh, when we sit on our toys.
I don't want to fight the instinct to sit on my toys anymore.
But I don't want to keep you from sitting on your toys that I don't happen to possess or lend you at times.
Wait, what did you say? Compersion? What the fuck is
Compersion.
that? What is that?
It's essentially when you you experience joy for your partner when it has nothing to do with you, really.
Okay. So
Never heard of that one. I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
so
I don't
if-
believe in
if
that. I never heard of that one.
You go on a date with someone else and you come back and you tell me about it, then I have compersion. I have for your experience, even
Sure.
though I wasn't there.
So this is like adjacent to
Wow.
compassion. I'm just wondering where the etymology of the word is. I'm just curious.
You know, I'm not sure actually. Originally, that's a great
But
question.
it sounds logical, so I say we
We
go.
can
I
give
say
it,
we
could
go
give it
for
a
it.
Google.
We can give it a Google, or we just give it the Hot Dog Club
That's
stamp
right,
of
Hot
approval.
Dog Club. Yeah.
If it works, it's in.
Fuck yeah.
No, we dabble in cuckolding a lot.
Oh, yeah, the
Oh.
good old cuckold.
Good old
So tell us
Wonders.
about that. Tell us about that, because also some listeners may not know about it. So.
Yeah, so cuckolding, you know, it generally centers around a relationship. There's a dominant woman usually and a submissive man, but it doesn't have to mean that you're whips and chains and in the dungeon necessarily, but there's usually some type of power exchange, and it generally comes from a place of the woman being unsatisfied in some way.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Either because the man has a small dick or is
He just doesn't know how to use it.
Oh, yeah.
or is the beta man and she wants a dominant man, or
Uh-huh.
whatever it may be, whatever the construct is that he has decided he's lacking, honestly. And it's about the female partner going out and finding satisfaction elsewhere,
Right.
outside the relationship.
Yeah, usually while he watches.
Yeah, I was about to ask. I was
Or
going to
it's
say,
It's all
wait,
about the denial.
participate.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it can be, well, it's such a range too, because, you know, maybe the cuck sits at home and only finds out about stuff later. Or maybe he's in the room and kind
in
of
the
a
closet.
voyeur situation where
Yeah.
he might just watch. Then it may progress to, okay, I'm going to lick your pussy after you've just been fucked.
Right.
Then maybe I'll eat the cum out of
Cream
it.
pie.
And then,
Yeah.
oops, the dick's in my mouth. I don't know. It's like a homosexuality
slope.
slippery
Yeah, is this
slope.
another slippery slope?
Yeah.
Is this another slippery
It
slope? We're talking there's some
is.
fluids involved.
Oop, and I just put him through college. Oops.
Oops, I just funded Mario's tuition, and now. So, but, okay, so
Yeah.
what's the correlation, or is there a definite correlation all the time between that sort of the first steps of like, so she, the woman's having sex maybe elsewhere and then comes and tells him about it, which is also, isn't that the hot wife thing as well?
Yeah, a hot wife is about, it's a part of cuckolding.
Okay, so that's like, would you say like a stage of cuckolding? Or?
Well, the hot wife is the female in the cuckolding scenario. Let's put it that way. She's not the housewife. She's a hot wife. She goes out. She gets fucked. She puts on slutty outfits.
So she just does it anyway. It's not part of the...
It's just who she is.
Gotcha, right. And then it's also part of the kink for the guy, right, is to hear about what her exploits while they're either having sex or some version of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly.
Okay, so but then the cuckolding, how often does it eventually lead to essentially the bi experience for the guy?
In the fantasy, 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
In actual real life, and I mean that even in like domination sessions, but like in real life, maybe half the time.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah, even the idea of doing it often can be, I don't know, a huge part of the journey, I think. We do a lot of female-led gay shit.
Yeah.
So like forced bi?
Forced bi.
Forced bi, although I don't like that term.
What would you prefer?
Forced bi, because it's not really forced. I mean, it is, but if you know what I mean? Not. That sounds very sort of coercive and a little bit rapey to me, which I don't love.
Exactly.
I just think that it also absolves them of too much choice. Like you're trying to say, like, oh, I'm not gay. I just did gay shit because she made me do it.
Right.
You know, it was her idea.
Yeah. I was rock hard the whole time, but I didn't like it.
I was so scared that I had to be. Yeah.
I was dripping so much I made a puddle on the floor, but I hated it. It's the worst.
Squirting.
Yes. It's one of my super skills.
Super skills.
We gotta talk about it.
I can hit that wall easy. I love squirting.
That's why I don't have any pictures up or anything, because you're hoping
well, you didn't give me a target.
Bullseye. There's a bullseye we can hang up.
Squirting is fun. Squirting is great. Orgasms are great.
Really? Are you sure? No.
See, Mr.
And the female
Contrarian
orgasm
again. I
is
don't
underrated.
know.
Yeah, the female orgasm is underrated. That's
so
for
wait.
sure.
For not for the listeners, but for me,
For your own perverted curiosity.
For my own perverted curiosity, the squirting, the phenomenon of squirting. How did you come upon that?
Well, someone had their fingers in my vagina and suddenly it was shooting out. No, it really is.
Yeah,
it really was.
Some people have to try harder.
Yeah,
but
some people have
you were
to,
naturally inclined.
It's just I can control it because obviously if you're gonna squirt, you're gonna make a little bit of a mess. So I try not to unless it's in sort of the right.
Put a tarp down.
Yeah. Back to that OCD. I got to clean it. It's just too much. But given
a squirter with OCD. Yeah.
I don't hit the target.
I don't have my tarps. I'm not ready for that. No, it just for me my body can do it. If I let go and relax, it can just do it multiple times. But
wow.
I can orgasm until I have to actually forcibly stop myself.
Really?
So,
Well, that's great.
I spent a long time getting to know my.
Wow, sounds like a real labor of love.
It is. It is.
How much female ejaculate is in the average squirt? Does it shoot like a? I should just watch a video. I'm sorry.
It's a lot.
So I'd like to add that Cherry, the one who was very effusive about how much she loves fluids and everything, even when it's a lot.
It can be. It certainly can be. Some women, squirt less than others, and sometimes you'll squirt a little bit, and then if you keep on playing, you'll squirt more and more and more and more.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. No pee in there, huh?
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, you start pushing and things. You know what I mean? Like certainly, but there is a difference between the two.
Damn.
They are close together, though.
They're close together, though. Yeah.
If you take part in the forced orgasm situation, then...
can you let's run down the forced orgasm.
Forced orgasm.
So one of the tropes of BDSM porn, let's say, is the idea of taking over your body and like making you come against your will. And so aggressive finger banging can often be involved if you're a woman.
Or fucking machines.
Yeah.
Or
the good
whatever.
old, the good old fucking machine.
Do you like fucking machines?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if it's the right dildo, I like fucking
Yeah.
machines.
It's all about the right
As long
dildo.
as you
isn't
can
it?
is.
control your own controller.
Yeah.
That's my preference on the fucking
That's a very
machine.
meta concept.
Yeah,
It's very
it
heavy,
is.
very heavy.
There's something very nice about a dick that doesn't go soft.
or a dick that's not attached to a man.
Yes, even better. Or one that, there's no stamina. Like, not even in the, like, oh, my legs are tired. Oh, I'm sweating and I smoke 2 packs a day.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sweating. I like that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's nice. They're selfless.
Well, that's the thing about smoking. Ultimately, you got to stop it because you don't want it to fuck up your boner. That's really
Yeah.
Circulation.
It's
Circulation.
true.
Yeah.
I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah. So forget vanity, listeners, or your lungs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
So your
dying
genitals.
young. Yeah.
Really, that's really not the important thing. It's the sexual activity. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Quitting smoking was a lot easier for me once I stopped starving for anal all the time.
Oh, so when you feed
that's the
proper appetites.
That's a fortune cookie.
That's real
Yeah.
shit right
It
there,
is.
you
Now,
guys.
why were you starving for anal? Were you worried about the calories?
Yeah, no. So when you
I thought it was
shoot
a better joke
porn,
than that, but-
for example,
Yeah, you can't. You don't
No,
eat all
you
day.
can't eat. No.
you're going to be boning in the ass for 12 hours.
Oh my god.
I mean, your day, like I can leave my house at 8 a.m. and not get back until 8 p.m. And like, I don't want any shitty business. No shitty charts.
No shitty business.
The hours of
No
8
shitty
a.m.
business here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Well, see, I misunderstood what you were saying. I thought you were saying that you had forsworn anal or something, and that for some reason that was correlated to your smoking
Yeah,
habit.
well, I just do a lot more fucking people in the ass than getting fucked in the ass these
Yeah.
days, and
Yeah.
so I just don't have to starve myself as
Oh,
much.
that's good, yeah.
Although I'm also really trained to do it now from porn. I can fast my ass off.
Faster ass.
Fast your ass off.
Literally.
There's a
slogan.
product here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah. Fast your ass off.
Fast your ass off with Sherry Tour.
Yeah,
Tonight at
yeah.
9 on her own private network, which you have to pay for.
Yeah, that's the worst. That was the worst thing about bottoming. It's so much. It's so much.
a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. It's
And
a
the
lot of
douche,
commitment.
you're not wrong. It rinses out all your goodness.
Yeah.
Really?
Now, don't get me wrong. If you just need a surface douche for I'm
Yeah.
going to just go right back here and we're going to be fine. 20 minutes, bing, bang, flim, flam, and we're all
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
That's great. But if I
Not-
need 12 hours, no,
No.
shitty shards,
No.
I'm
Digging.
sorry.
Yeah.
You're going
Full
deep.
excavation.
Yeah.
Got
Oh
our
my God.
got our parrot on our shoulder. Got
Yeah.
our headlight ready to
Yeah.
spelunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it's
Oh my god.
So when it's
Little
not Sri Lankan
business.
time, when it
Yeah.
is just the 20-minute or 20 to 60, whatever. So what's the appropriate level of maintenance or dushing?
I would say really try not to go past too real deep in that second sphincter area. Especially
Yeah.
if you are like, I really like the shower shot.
Uh-huh.
Shower enema hose, and now that'll
That can go way up there.
that will stir some
Yeah.
shit up.
that'll start a party.
Yeah, that'll go
Yeah.
way up there.
Yeah.
I just like a little just
Little
the
bulb?
the little bulb,
The little
Yeah.
red
Just a
bulb.
little- yeah.
Yeah, if you can do that, like that's great for the casualness. And I don't know. My one tip for a 12-hour shit-free day would be to when you think you're done,
Do it again.
wait 20, 30 minutes for things to trickle on down the track and just see
Yeah.
what happens.
Yeah.
So-
Smoking was great for that too.
Oh.
Yeah.
If I could smoke a cigarette without shitting my pants, then I was definitely
You're like, I'm ready. That's good. I'm ready. So wait, let me ask. I have another
my
question to
God.
follow up. And though I hate to be gross, because we wouldn't want to do that on this
Absolutely.
show.
Absolutely.
No,
No,
let's avoid that.
So when you're preparing for a 12-hour ass fuck day,
Yes.
just run down a little bit for me again. So the enema process would be how intense?
Oh my God. Okay. So back in the day, before I knew shit about shit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
now
yeah.
I know everything about shit. But before I knew shit about shit, bitch was worried. I'm not someone who just like, oh, just pop it in. It's probably clean. No, it ain't clean.
She's up at 4
Bitch,
a.m.
It needs work. It needs maintenance. I was up 6 in the morning, flushing for probably 3 hours, I would say.
Sure. So how long would you hold the water per flush?
I didn't do like a whole lot of retention training necessarily, but like number of flushes, like fucking infinity.
Oh my
Like I've
God.
put so much water up my ass, I threw up once.
You know what? That happened to a
Dusty
guy that I
Tornado.
dated. No, a guy that I dated. That we were
Attila?
supposed to have anal
Yeah.
for the first time, and I think that he wildly overestimated
process,
amounts,
and got ordered online like a personal irrigation system,
Right.
where it was like gallons. Yeah. It was crazy.
Look out.
Here comes the
enema.
It's time for loving, and here comes the enema.
But he puked. He puked.
Yeah.
He puked.
If you've used that shower enema, especially, it will shovel so much water inside of you so fast if you have the pressure up too high. Should you have a one handle shower, for example, not like separate hot, separate cold, so you can really control the water pressure.
Or the temperature too. Has there ever been
important.
any? Yeah, I can imagine.
No one wants to burn.
Oh, God.
You're gonna be sizzling down there later
not
anyhow.
nice.
And
So
my favorite is traveling. Like I have a whole kit. Like I have like a shower enema hose I bring. I have a wrench that's less than 7 inches, so I can argue with TSA when they try to confiscate it from me.
bless you.
And then I have to go and like try to install this fucking thing on some like 1970s like piece of shit shower.
Oh, right.
You better bring your plumber's tape. That's all I'm
my
saying.
God.
You gotta throw that in.
Oh my God.
It's not worth it.
There have been some finaglings of shower hoses over the years.
I'm imagining some jerry-rigged contraptions where you're like, listen, I gotta get this thing. Yeah.
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 Oh yeah, no, I'm not. I can't do the bulb, not for a 12-hour day. I'd be there for hours.
But again, the bulb's okay for just like
Just a subtle
Yeah.
tryst.
Okay.
Just a little.
It's good to get that clear. Yeah.
It's good for
Absolutely.
most things if you're not going to be doing it in front of God and everybody.
Right.
Well, right.
Exactly.
Yeah. If there's
The judge
I
and the
can't
jury,
imagine
yeah.
the pressure of like
There's no HD camera close up on your butthole. You know? Like,
Yeah.
Lights.
that's really intense.
Sure.
People worry a lot more about it when you're new. Like that's a thing. You can always tell when someone's new because they're really worried about shitting on the day.
And shit
Uh-huh.
happens.
Old veterans, they don't give
Shit
a
do
they
happen,
shit
right?
happens.
shit on the floor.
We've-
I don't care.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we've
Kinda,
had
yeah.
live shoots. We were shooting live once on the upper floor, and I'm not going to name any names, obviously, but we had
put a beep in so it
a
sounds like you
model,
did.
and she was on a fuck box on her knees, sort of doggy
Wait,
style.
now what's a fuck box?
It's just a padded box that you can fuck on. Essentially,
okay.
it usually
Lifts
has
you up to fuck height.
Yeah,
Oh,
it usually
okay.
has like
A pad.
some O-rings, and so you can
Tie
tie if
points.
you want
Sure.
or whatever, padded so your knees don't get all fucked up. And she'd been getting railed in the ass by a few different participants, and they were done, and she sat back and full
Blammo.
poopies
Yeah.
came out.
And this is a live show.
Poopy train.
Like it's
Oh,
just
live
like
stream.
Yeah, no, we're live. We are absolutely live.
Okay.
So our cameraman saw it for all of us. Like I had a dick on a stick, and I had been fucking her too, and she pulled, and then there it came, and our cameraman saw it. He was so good. He like grabs a glove and just scoops it out of the shot. It was amazing.
Wow.
It was so pro. We felt
nice.
really bad for her. You know,
Yeah,
no one
yeah.
wants it to happen, and she was really upset about it. So
So
but
my
it was
question
fine.
with that is, so she'd been going for a while,
Yeah.
and there hadn't been any incident. So at a certain stage, doesn't
That's the
matter.
thing.
That's the
No, I know. I
thing,
just
yeah.
don't want to,
And
I
some
want to make it very
people-
crystal clear for everyone.
And it's an interesting thing because we don't just shoot anal porn. Like, okay, we're gonna fuck. We shoot hardcore BDSM with anal.
Yeah.
So
it's
to
part of
not
the salad.
to not eat,
is.
it's actually
accoutrement.
kind of dangerous.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know,
right,
like you
right.
need your energy, you need calories, you need sugar in your body so that
Yeah.
you don't pass out or go into weird shock or
Oh my
you know,
God.
anything
Just have bad drop
crazy.
afterwards.
Yeah, chemical drops and stuff like that. So
It's a balancing act, honestly. But that's
Yeah.
what it is. It's a lot of extreme stuff. So
Yeah.
you wanna take good care of yourself outside of the scenes you're planning on having. You want to take good care of yourself on a day-to-day basis, and
Yeah.
and that way you can do these kinds of extreme things with minimal. I don't want to say no risk because that is a lie.
Yeah.
You know what we engage in is risk-aware consensual kink. Rack.
Sure. Yeah.
Risk-aware consensual.
It's called
kink.
rack. That's
Rack.
what I like. And
Snappy.
people try and say safe, sane, and consensual, all that stuff. It's like, yeah, it's not really safe though. That's a
And what's
misnomer. It's
sane?
inaccurate.
Yeah.
And
What's
what's
sane?
sane?
Now, consensual is great, but it's risk aware. It's
Sure.
being risk aware
Yeah.
and minimizing those the bad risks, obviously,
Yeah.
as much as possible.
Well, when you're talking
And
about
you-
something like the ball busting, I mean, there's clearly risks.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, I mean, this is the thing. A lot of the things we
Ball
do,
busting.
like
Ball busting. Ball busting. Ball busting.
awful. Yeah, no, we've all sort of there's classes on these. I know that sounds very odd, but
No, it
like
makes sense actually
we've-
when you say it.
there are,
Yeah.
and we've been trained, how to do everything from needle play to ball busting to traditional corporal and bondage and
Yeah,
asphyxiation.
even
and-
bondage will totally fuck you up.
Yeah.
if you
Oh,
don't do
really?
it right,
Absolutely.
you can get nerve damage in your
Oh,
extremities.
sure.
Like
Oh,
I've
yeah.
I've had a floppy hand for like
Yeah.
3-4 days at a time where like
No
Oh,
way.
wow.
I had to
Yeah.
make her unbutton and button my pants because
Yeah.
I couldn't control my hand enough to like make the
Damn.
motion
Yeah.
anymore.
No, I've had my right leg numb for a week after
wow.
after I was upside down for an extended period of time.
So basically, it's like if you fall asleep on your arm and you wake up and you feel like it's
Yeah.
going to go away.
yeah, and
Okay.
it doesn't.
Oh my God,
No, I
that's
mean,
terrifying.
it feels like your arm's going to go
that's
away.
what I mean. Yeah, exactly. And it's just interesting. Those sensations can last for a while. But I mean, that's never desired. Like something went
Yeah,
wrong.
Right,
yeah. It's
right,
just
right.
the price doing business occasionally.
Yeah, and I think it's an interesting thing to fuck in bondage because you're putting someone in like something strenuous, something tight, something against the bone, whatever, and then figuring them
Shaking them.
back and forth,
Yeah,
shaking them
yeah,
back and
yeah,
forth.
yeah.
Which is it's not. It's
You
got
wanna
to
know
be
what you're
very
doing.
careful.
What
Yeah.
about the full facial enclosures that you see sometimes?
Hoods?
Yeah.
Or like even the gas masks type of thing?
Yeah, I love.
Oh, eyes lit up. I gotta tell you, the eyes lit up.
I love any that sort of sensory or depersonalization
Yeah,
of someone.
Okay.
Objectification,
Sure.
dollification is a big thing for me. I
Okay,
like
could
to-
you describe dollification for the listeners? And for our own prurient
yeah.
interest,
Yeah.
but I just want to make it clear that
Well, it's a lot like drag, honestly.
Yeah.
No, it really is. It really, really is. A lot of people, they don't necessarily, know how to put themselves together, or they want to be transformed or whatnot. And so it's a whole primping and preening and putting together and making someone just feel like this beautiful object.
Now, how is that different from sissification, or if it is a difference?
It's not necessarily different, although we're not playing with the sissy aspect. Dollification doesn't mean you have to be a sissy.
Okay, so that's where my confusion, because I thought that was the whole sort of category for dolling
Yeah.
a man up in.
Well, that would be sissification play.
Yes, and like the rubber doll masks and things like that. It's definitely
Yeah.
that would be different than maybe the dollification even that we're talking about here.
Those full femme skin,
creepy, right?
those are
Yeah.
so insane.
Yeah.
They're so like.
I
Have
don't
you
think
seen
I've
those?
seen that,
Oh my god!
no.
So it's it's a
Craig.
full latex.
I'm happy there's still more
suit.
things to discover.
Oh
What-
yeah, full latex suit with a
Yeah.
with a female mask.
Okay.
And then
Like
it's
makeup, and the whole face
the
is
whole
already
face.
on there.
Yeah,
Okay.
the whole face.
And,
it
but
is-
they're inside,
Yeah.
Yep.
peering out.
Yep, and
Yep.
it's like
Yeah.
the lips and everything in the eyeballs, and you can just all you can see are just they have slits for eyeballs, and you can see
Oh,
their
And it
eyeballs.
even has a
Wow.
pussy. You get a pussy
Yeah.
with that.
Really?
Yep.
Now, where is that on the person? Is it like
The pussy?
It's usually between the legs.
I would like to clarify. I would like to clarify for the record.
Now, where's the pussy?
For the record, that I am very well aware of.
It's gonna be a longer lesson.
No, well, when they put, I'm saying when the person's inside this latex thing.
Yeah.
I'm saying, well, how far?
Tuck.
What?
Oh, but they're tucked.
No, is it just
Oh.
like their head in the thing? Like, what is the?
No, it's a full body
full
suit.
Oh, that's what I got.
body.
Okay,
Toes,
yeah.
fingers, the
Oh,
whole nine. It's
it's the
complete
It
enclosure.
makes your hands look feminine.
Yeah,
It makes
it's
your
a complete
face
Oh,
look
so they're
enclosure.
inside. They're like in a real doll. Is what
Yeah.
the thing is.
Actually, they are a
That's-
walking
Yeah.
real
That's what I
doll.
was trying to figure out when I said, "Where is it?" Okay, because I didn't know if it was just like their head popping through and
No.
then okay, yeah.
No, it's
it's
super fun.
And like you just see like them like sunbathing with them on. It's very
They
interesting.
like to be taken out in public.
Yeah.
Yeah, walks
Really?
around. We go to, do a tea date or take them to coffee.
Yeah.
and
Wow.
They
So-
want to go into the pretty girl stores and
Yeah,
pick out
sure.
panties.
Wow.
And,
Yeah.
and a lipstick and the whole nine. They want to brush their hair and do their nails.
That's
and-
fascinating. I'm really thrown by this because also,
Yeah.
what's the temperature inside after a while?
Oh my god.
Because I mean,
Sweaty
just,
Betty, don't even
It's
begin.
awful.
and plus you're giving them coffee too, so
Yeah, for sure.
It is being in one of those fucking do you know Nina Nina Cage? You guys know Nina Cage, Jane Doe latex?
Oh yeah, Jane.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh.
She
Absolutely.
She's made me a couple of latex outfits for drag, and Oh, they're rotten.
They're awful.
They're awful.
They
It
are.
is so beautiful and so cold and so hot and so sweaty.
It's so cruel. I think latex is just
It
it's
is-
stunning, but it is
It's stunning,
horrible
but
to
it's-
wear.
It is so awful. It is
How long-
so fucking awful.
How long is it comfortable?
It's never comfortable.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
getting it on is difficult. Taking it off is,
Yeah.
I think,
Can you
probably the
describe-
most pleasurable part is taking it off.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's almost like taking off a really tight corset after a long day of tight lacing.
Sure.
It's just like this, or a bra.
And all of
It's
the,
like a
the
relief.
moisture, I had a headpiece,
Yeah.
like
Your
basically
swim
a swim
cap?
cap, and I remember taking it off, and there was all the moisture because it doesn't go anywhere.
Right, no.
It doesn't go
Yes.
anywhere.
It just collects.
It collects
Yeah.
or pools or drips down.
Yep.
And I took off the thing, and I was like,
Yeah.
It's just it's so nasty.
So
It's
for latex garments, how do you put them on?
Lube or baby powder,
Yeah.
depending on
What works
Yeah.
best for
what
you?
works
and-
best for
yeah.
you and what
Yeah.
kind of a piece it is.
Sure.
Are you going to hug somebody later and
Yeah.
then be like, what's
Yeah.
going on?
It's so I just prefer breathable spandex.
We
Yeah.
all do.
Yeah.
Give me that Zentai soup, bitch.
CasualDom.com. I'm going to show up in yoga pants. And,
Yeah.
and
That's good.
tennies.
CasualDom.com.
That's great. Another product, yeah.
Yeah.
Kiss the Uggs.
Yeah.
Uggs and like an off-the-shoulder sweater.
Yes, a swacket. We're gonna have a swacket.
Yeah, and like
here.
I could see you like barking instructions with like a pumpkin spice latte. Right?
Oh, I'm not
Ponytail.
that basic.
No. Fulfill the fantasy. Fulfill the
Absolutely.
fantasy,
Yeah,
please.
fair.
Please.
Okay, fair.
Don't shame
Give the
them. Don't
children what
shame
they
them.
want.
Yeah. Oh my god, I love
Oh my
that.
goodness. Yeah. No, it's
Slightly
I
off
wish.
topic. I believe you're a big Vanderpump Rules fan, right?
Yes, we both are.
Good, you both are
We
because
fucking love
I was gonna see if you'd like to go to Girls' Night In tonight at Sir. Do you know
would
that
be
I do?
Are you
fun.
fucking with me? Right
So no, that's what I wanted to do. The whole thing was bringing you
Just
here
a ploy. Just a ruse.
just to crank you.
Yeah,
Build me up and then
the
break me
pumps are
down.
fun. We would love to do that. That'd be great.
Cool.
Yeah, we need to stay until at least after traffic, so y'all are stuck with us for a while.
You're welcome.
Sounds good
We're
to me.
not driving back to San Diego until this is the
No, that's
traffic
good.
is
That's
passed.
good. Yeah, there's a TomTom preview party tomorrow too.
Oh
Are
my
they
but-
God.
almost done with the build?
Yeah, they're having a Daily Mail party tomorrow.
That's
And so, like,
exciting.
I also do a podcast about that.
The pumpers.
Yeah, Vanderpump Pump Rules podcast.
It's very funny because when we first started listening to this podcast, we were like, wait,
Yeah.
I think like his
voice sounds really
Oh, that's so cool.
familiar.
Oh, you
Yeah.
actually listen to that
Yeah.
too?
Yeah,
Oh, great,
yeah.
great.
Yeah, we do a lot of driving,
Well,
so we
thank
do
you.
a lot of podcasting,
yeah.
and a lot of flying. So it's just
Oh,
it's an
sure.
easy
Yeah.
thing to.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
happy to be in your ears. That's
Yeah,
great.
you are.
And
You
we're
are.
just bizarrely obsessed with those kids. I can't help it. It's good TV.
They're fun.
You know that
That's
they
excellent.
live. You know who lives in the building, right? Okay, so Katie and Schwartz are on the third floor, and so are Jackson Brittany, and
They're
they
sweet.
found this place because they were doing Katie was doing the podcast, and
so funny.
Katie's like one of my closest friends.
We love. Can
Are
I
you
just say that?
seriously
I
telling me that we are
love
in
her.
snatching distance of Brittany Cartwright? Like we could
Yeah.
take her and
That's
keep
right.
her forever because we would like her to be our girlfriend really bad. Brittany, if you're listening, please. You're
Be our
beautiful.
girlfriend.
You have no idea.
Well, she'll be there tonight at
Please.
Girls' Night In.
Sweet. She just got engaged, too.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, and Katie was on doing the show and talking about trying to find an apartment, and our building manager was coming down to look at a shower thing, and I was like, "Oh, there's a vacancy here," and so we went up, and then that was that. Then we were having parties here, and then Jackson was and Brittany were over, and he was like, "I want to move in," and then that was yeah. So Brian hasn't seen the show, so that's why he's gone quiet. Yeah.
Oh.
I know.
You met Katie though, right?
Yeah, she's cool.
She's fabulous.
great.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I love Lisa Vanderpump.
Is she
I think
British?
Yes.
This sounds like when my parents visited for the first time, and we were driving past Sir, and I was like, "Mom, look, there's Sir," and then my dad went, "Well, what's Sir?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, there's a lot we got to catch him up on." There was
I go
yeah,
by
yeah.
it all the time because I go to fucking AA meetings right by it.
It's very Laura Lee of you.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Well, it's a
Oh,
shits.
yeah,
it's for
yeah.
the
Okay.
big fans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
So-
How awkward was that?
Oh, that
my
was-
God.
What happened? What happened?
Jax, who you met Jax.
Yeah, I did.
He broke up with
Talk
a
about
girl.
someone that needs a spanking. Good.
Oh my God. Please send him to our dungeon.
He needs
Please.
husband training. I'm ready. Send him to us,
Yes.
Brittany. We will sort that man
Husband
right out and
shaming. Ugh.
send him back to you.
Oh, he's the hot one too, right?
Oh, you
He's
were
the
like
hot,
you were.
naughty one.
He's naughty? Why is he
Because he's a
naughty?
bad boy.
Oh my god.
He is a bad
He's a
boy.
philandering
What is he
naughty
do-
pants.
Oh, is he a cheater?
Well, he has been in past relationships. I'm going to say no to this current one because I love Brittany and
Yeah.
going to project that he's doing nothing but the right things.
I think that
Which
you're
if
on the
you
right
are-
track, by the way. I do, you know.
It's just been historically difficult for him to keep it to himself, I would say. And I mean, you've seen him. It's, you know,
Yeah,
what are you gonna
Jax
do?
too. That name sounds like a porno name.
What are some films that you like? Because you, Jerry, mentioned that you're a film nerd, right? And I can't imagine that
Yes.
you're not, Sophie.
Film art in general.
Oh,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
We absolutely love it. We really love media about outliers, I want to say, about cults and
Oh, yeah.
you know, religious documentaries, like intense sex. I can't enunciate it.
Sex. Oh, sex.
Well, I heard intense sex, and I was like, cult and intense sex. Fine, that's just all
Yeah.
in line
All
with
of
our
the
interests
above.
as well. So,
Yes, you
yeah.
know, we love David Lynch. We love John Waters.
Oh, you know, Criterion Collection, anything, you know. We like any old film, new film, good, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Same.
matter. Just film, and I'll pretty much watch anything, honestly.
Yeah.
Even if it's terrible, because if it's
Sometimes
that
that's
bad,
great.
it's the best.
Well, by the way, so my most recent purchase, and I'm so pleased about this because I'm going to go visit my friend Jason in New Orleans, and he has a shared affinity for these types of films. It's a romantic comedy starring Luciano Pavarotti.
Oh my God.
Yes,
my grandmother
Giorgio.
would be so pleased.
Oof. Romantic comedy with Pavarotti.
I mean, how can you go wrong, right?
I could imagine several ways.
So, what are some of your favorite films specifically?
Oh my God.
Just throw darts at the wall of memories, and
I know. Well,
I like
God.
the original Swept Away a ton. If you want,
I've wanted to see that for a long time.
I had the chance to meet Lena Wertmuller, and it was life changing. She was
Wow.
such a radical woman.
How did that happen?
I went to just a place in San Francisco. She was giving a lecture on film,
Oh, cool.
and one of my partners at the time was a journalist, and so we had a chance to interview her,
Wow.
which was really incredible experience.
That's great.
Yeah, 'cause she's an incredible woman. So that's a favorite of mine. I love I don't know. I really like the original Wicker Man. I like old movies. I watch a lot of
Well, I
old.
mean, you've heard the show. I'm not going to argue
Wait,
too much
is
about that.
Swept
yeah.
Away the one with that was the one the Madonna remade?
She remade it, but
Why
it
did she
wasn't.
do all that?
And ruined
No one
it, apparently,
knows.
yeah.
No one knows. Because the original, if you want to see not particularly healthy, but really, really hot power exchange. That movie sticks out to me because it's one of the first ones I saw that I think I masturbated to. I was like,
Ooh.
and it's completely inappropriate and unhealthy. So I have a little bit of shame saying that because that man was rotten, but so was she. She kind of deserved it.
Yeah.
Well, the complexities of human sexuality.
It's true.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
Yeah.
if I had to
Shit.
pick my favorite Waters film,
yeah,
probably
anything John
Crybaby.
Waters.
And I'm
Yeah,
embarrassed about
Crybaby.
that.
We're going to do Crybaby for the movie club
We
soon.
love
you?
Crybaby.
Or Cryberry, as we sometimes
Cryberry.
call it. Yeah,
Cryberry.
Cryberry. It's our favorite flavor.
Cryberry.
Good Girl Gone Bad. I really enjoy those
Oh, okay.
storylines.
Sure.
Corrupting the innocent type.
Really? That's.
Yes.
I find myself surprised
Yeah,
somehow.
that's out of
You
nowhere.
know, I used to be the innocent. Now I'm the corrupter. It's fascinating.
I was
I enjoy
obsessed
the whole
with
journey.
from Paul Yester, the Baltimore Foot Stomper.
Oh yeah. By the way,
That was the
rest in
best.
peace, Tab Hunter. He passed
Oh, he
away
just
this
died.
week. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, 87. Yeah.
Just died.
There's a terrific documentary about him, but done by Jeffrey Schwartz, who did the Divine documentary.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Any documentaries, really.
We
You
love
can watch
documentaries.
any and all
Uh-huh, same
about
here.
pretty much anything.
Character
honestly.
studies. We like weird people doing weird things.
Same here.
I got to watch that Evil Genius one on Netflix.
I've heard it's
Did you
really
see
good.
that
Did
one?
you watch that?
I fell in love with the Eiffel Tower. Have you seen that one?
Oh my God.
I'm in love with the Eiffel
I'm in
Tower.
love with the Eiffel Tower.
I've heard pieces of it on the Howard
Okay.
Stern
What-
show.
what-
Yeah.
Okay.
It's about objectosexual women.
Objectosexual women.
Yeah.
Fall in love with things like Eiffel Towers or Ferris wheels
or the Berlin Wall.
the Berlin Wall.
You're joking.
They had archery bow.
Yeah.
Someone
Oh.
was in love with her archery bow.
She just kind of fuck it or whatever.
You know,
yeah,
they-
we didn't really tell you.
you see
They
some
didn't
of
explain
it.
the bow, but
Yeah.
they did show her fucking the Empire State Building, I believe, and there was some
How did she?
hot
the Eiffel
area
Tower.
to cold contact.
Oh.
She kind of like there's
Wiggled-
all sorts of people around. She's kind of wiggled up on there and like settled down and then let their temperatures kind of
what she
come
said.
to one
Wow.
equilibrium. And
That's
like
very
that was
cool.
her. That was the climax moment. But it was very difficult because a lot of the things that she is in love with are things
Public.
she can't get to easily, like the Berlin Wall.
Oh, right. Oh, so she's in love with a number of.
Yeah, it follows several different women actually,
I see,
and
yeah.
she's kind of slutty, objectosexual. I have to say, she
Wow.
had some
Objecto-
many
Multiple
love
lovers.
interests. The other woman was in love with I I want to call it a roller coaster, but it was like an amusement park ride.
Yeah, it's almost like a Ferris wheel kind of spinny
fun.
thing.
Mhm.
It was it's I think also in Germany.
Cool.
Something 1001 knocked.
Yeah.
something
When she's
like
feeling
that.
a little wilder, that's
Well,
what
she
goes
talked
for.
about the sort of juices and oils of the ride
Oh, I see. Okay,
running
so
down her body.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
She wanted that rest real bad.
She wanted the rust of motor grease.
Oh.
She
all
did.
that.
She wanted the motor grease.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah. You if you haven't watched it,
I gotta watch that.
Highly
it's
recommend.
incredible.
I think
And
this
that's on
sounds like-
Netflix?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
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 Or
It might be like a Vimeo search.
Okay.
yeah,
We
YouTube.
can dig it up,
something.
Brian.
You know.
We'll
I
dig it up
love
for
It's
you.
out
It's,
there.
I'm in love with the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah,
in love
I
with the
heard
Eiffel
clips
Tower.
from it on the Stern Show.
And it's not a goof.
No, it's
real.
really
It's
not
very,
a goof.
very
Yeah.
real. Yeah.
Super genuine. And then there's the sort of male version, which is like, I love my car.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Nail in the tailpipe.
Nail on the tailpipe.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Oh, yeah.
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 Guys,
Oh,
fuck
yeah.
the tailpipe?
Absolutely.
You're kidding.
Any flaps and folds they can find, they put it in.
The phone sex people, especially the ones who call a lot, have all sorts of contraptions, like
Really?
some type of pillow amalgamation
Oh,
with
sure,
like
yeah.
holes cut out
Yeah.
and like places they put bags and
Yeah.
things they like to fuck.
Bags of things. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
banana skins and things like that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
bizarre.
I got a nice
Pillow
sex doll.
humping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are so good job, you.
Thank you.
I'm really proud of that.
You got like a halfy, right?
Yeah.
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 No head.
No head, no legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
big titties.
Big titties,
Big
huge
titties.
ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very small waist. Latex. She has a lot of heft to her.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. There's a lot of heft
You
to
like
her.
a serious woman.
Yeah. She's not fucking around. Neither am I. Yeah.
Do you dress her up?
I don't. She doesn't like it.
Even with like
her
a,
skin
Supposed to
gets
be
so itchy.
naked.
even with like a ribbon or something.
No, she just get that off me. I don't like it.
I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't like it.
Yeah. You know, I never even thought about dressing her up.
She'd be cute.
It'd be cute, a little bra on her.
You know?
Yeah, or a little house dress.
If you have a little gathering at your house, just put her in a little suit, you know?
Yeah.
A little outfit. Make her a wish list.
Yes.
www.
Jennifer's wish list coming
Oh
soon.
my god.
Oh, I wanted to show you.
DressJennifer.com.
I wanted to show you
that
the
was so
first
funny.
shirt that we're coming out with.
Oh, great.
And I think you're going to like it because I think you may have heard about this before.
Oh, yes.
Oh my
cute?
God.
This is modeled on
Brilliant.
the thank you bags.
Yeah.
that-
So pleased.
Yes.
you.
Will you make a black version though too?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Okay,
Now,
good.
let me ask you: would you like pink lettering on black? Do you think that would be good, or do you think that the like white on black? What would you think would be the best combo for a black shirt?
I like white and black and white personally.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, pink is fine. Pink is a fun color,
Cool.
but I don't always.
Yeah.
It doesn't always go with everything.
No, and also like sometimes pink paint on black
Yeah.
can have a kind of like not a tacky look. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't work. So
Yeah.
maybe white on black
Yeah, I
then.
think-
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
That looks great though.
Thank you.
It's gonna
Thank
be
you.
fun.
I'm really excited about
You're gonna
that.
come out with lots of merch.
We're gonna come out with a flood of merch.
Good.
Actually. Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
We're actually gonna come out with some merch too.
Yeah.
Finally.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh yeah, we
Cool.
bought your coloring book.
Oh,
We
nice.
did- She got me your
Kudos to you for
coloring
that.
book for
Awesome.
for my
Thank you.
birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
They weren't lazy with that coloring book. I have to say, I was
It's-
delighted
it's
by every
insane.
single
It
page.
is.
It's insane. That's my friend Allie. She's a genius. Isn't it
I
incredible?
lost my
Really
mind. I
good.
couldn't
Yeah,
believe it.
it's
I was like,
incredible.
this is so fucking good.
It's incredible. Yeah.
Oh.
She like it's
Your friend Allie
Allie,
did
yeah,
it?
she
Yeah.
does pretty much all my merch. She's like incredible.
She did a great job.
Yeah, she's a toy designer. She's
Oh.
oh,
Oh,
my
cool. I
god.
didn't know
Yeah,
that.
she's
Nice.
super
Yeah.
she's so cool. Wait, I need to take a tinkle break.
Okay, fabulous. Yeah. Hey, everybody, this is Craig. I'm just interrupting the show to let everyone know that we are on Twitter at Katya and Craig, as well as Instagram as Katya and Craig. We have an email address, whimsicallyvolatile@gmail.com. And please subscribe on iTunes and leave a review. Thank you to everyone who's already left reviews. Thank you to everyone for all the lovely comments, and hope you enjoy the rest of the episode. So we're back from a little bit of sun, fun, and dancing. And excitingly, Cherry and Sophie both joined in on some hot dancing.
Oh my
to,
god.
honored.
Oh, it was sizzling.
I'm honored.
Oh, it was hot.
It was a joy.
It was riveting.
Riveting.
I shall remember that moment.
Yeah.
Well, good. The whole internet will remember it.
That's
Yeah,
right.
it'll
Yes,
be-
we'll be
That was
posting
some
that
hot,
for
sexy dancing.
so hot, so sexy.
Great choreo. Great.
Fabulous choreo.
Good dance leader.
I would say.
Thank you very
I would
much.
say
Yeah.
inspirational.
Hey,
Inspirational
we made
choreo.
miracles in that
Yeah.
3-foot square
Yeah.
area.
Well,
I'll
you
tell
see-
you that much.
The restrictions bring forth the magic. It's a
That's
funny
true.
thing. The fewer choices you have,
Yeah.
the more industrious you have to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you were saying that dick makes you real mad sometimes.
Oh.
If I may be paraphrasing. you.
No, you're not wrong. We were talking about burnout, man, and burnout is a real fucking thing. And sometimes, like, I get so inundated with dicks and like needy male energy that wants something from me. That
Small dick energy
that will make you want to incinerate them.
Oh my God.
And figuring out how to like look dicks in the eye again and be happy about it is, I don't know. It's something I've had to struggle with in my 15-year career at this point.
Yeah, I could definitely see how you'd want to just hang it all up, especially hang all the dicks up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
get out of
yeah.
here.
Get out of here, you
want
fucking
I don't,
dick.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
don't like it.
Get out of here. I don't want it.
I don't want it.
I don't need to see that.
And we're talking about everyone's origin story, and I don't think we got yours clearly. But Sophie, you got involved in porn almost accidentally.
Accidentally. Yep. No, I was doing a design job for kink.com, and the cameras had picked up my action in the background for long enough that people kept on asking, who is that lady? And one night, actually, our male talent was unable to get his dick hard.
Oh my God.
And-
As
can't believe
dicks
it.
want to do.
Dick did not want to get hard. And we were live once
Yeah.
again, which we shot live a lot at Kink.
Yeah.
Kink did a lot of live shoots, which is sort of, breaking the fourth wall and what made it kind of unique and cool.
And live streaming
Live stream, yeah. So whatever happened.
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was no, there was an edit and post for people who weren't watching live.
Sure.
But if you were there, you were there, and then people captured it, and they, like media does. And he couldn't get his dick hard, and so I jumped up and put a dick on, and that was it.
Bam.
Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
You filled the breach, as it were.
I
yeah.
did. I took on 2 beautiful submissive women and 1 hot little piece of man meat.
Cool.
Yeah, 3-on-1. It was a good time.
Amazing.
Now, the gentleman who couldn't get hard, was it his first up at
absolutely
bat
not.
that day, or was
No.
it fatigue?
No, it was fatigue.
I
He's
see.
amazing. I love him. He has a
Probably his second shoot that day. That's my
Yeah.
guess.
Second
Holy
shoot
shit.
with
If a really
multiple.
good male
At least.
performer has boner problems, it's generally because they're trying to double perform in a day.
What's the advisable amount of time a porn performer, male porn performer, should basically expect to have a decent performance without using, what's the injectable thing called?
Oh, Trimac. Trimac.
That seems a little spooky to me because it's just like
It's fucking weird.
yeah, because do they like, what's the sensation then like if it's just hard through this injection? I mean, because Viagra is one thing, right? But this is a whole nother level.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of the tier you get to after you've done a lot of Viagra and the Viagra stops working as intended. It's kind of like the upping the ante situation.
Wow. So you
A
can,
lot of gay for pay performers
Yeah.
like to use the Trimax because it's
Yeah.
foolproof.
Oh my God.
Whereas, Viagra's
Yeah.
not foolproof. You still have to be horny. It
Yeah, you
doesn't
gotta
give you
do-
a raging boner in a situation you would otherwise find undesirable.
Right,
yeah,
right.
you need the desire element
Right.
to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Ugh.
Yeah,
But it's an unnatural boner. Like it's not normal. It definitely
How is it
seems-
unnatural? Is it kind of like, again, the dead arm thing before? Is it just, it's rigid, it's
Yeah.
there, but it's not really,
feeling.
yeah.
Like, okay, so as a director, for example, if somebody's going to use Trimax, they need like 15 minutes of warning, and then they kind of go away with their little pack, and then
Okay.
they come back with like a raging, like a
full on
raging, but like a
10 out of 10.
please try to wrestle it back into your pants level
Wow.
of boner because it ain't happening. Like it's
Yeah.
not happening. It's there, and it can last for 4 hours
Oh my
upwards, and
God.
it's really a lot more risky in the if this erection doesn't go away in 4 to 6 hours, please consult your doctor department.
Sure. Now, can they ejaculate when having the, what is it called again? Sorry?
Trimax.
Trivex.
Trimax.
When they have
Trimax.
when they have the Trivex boner, can they
Yeah.
ejaculate?
Oh yeah, they can ejaculate.
Yeah.
Still,
Okay.
for sure.
For sure.
But I it does. I don't have a dick, so I'm extrapolating. But it does
Wait,
seem
what?
to not one that needs Trimax anyway. My dick stays hard. I don't have that problem.
There's a good extrapolation, a strap-on joke in there somewhere. I,
Yeah,
just
sure is.
I haven't cut away at the.
But I don't know if you've taken a lot of Viagra, but it seems like it gives you a really good boner, but it can kind of make it harder to orgasm for sure.
Okay,
And so,
I had it once, or actually no, twice, and it was fine.
You're like chasing the dragon, man. It's like everything's great, but you just can't cross the finish line no matter what. You know, and it makes you flush, so like your
it makes
face
you so
getting all
flushed.
red, and
Face
like your
gets super
temperature
red.
control is just
gives you a
weird.
headache.
You get a headache.
Yeah, I used to do Cialis.
Cialis, okay, yeah.
Which is like the whole fucking day.
Yeah.
It's a commitment.
So
Yeah, it
I
is
don't know.
commitment.
I feel like some people probably are like, oh, at least if I do the Trimax, then I don't get probably a lot of those physical symptoms.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know, you can kind of create a dependency where you need it.
Sure. And also, once you start involving needles into anything,
Yeah, like, and where are you needling yourself? Like
right.
in the locale, not just like where in your body, but like
which room?
just more risk factors.
Yeah, it's risk upon risk.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
absolutely. We only allow it on our sets with the doctor's prescription.
Oh, that's nice.
How often in your porn travels have you encountered something that is like in, for instance, Boogie Nights, the John Holmes problem of someone's on a ton of coke or they're on a bunch of performance suffocating drugs?
Yeah.
Have you
do
seen
you
that?
Yeah.
ever?
Honestly,
that's a common
yeah.
thing.
Often I'm in kind of enough of a position of power that like you're not showing me that you're doing drugs on my set, or I will send your ass straight home.
Sure.
I see.
So, but I'm not an idiot. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious how common it
Yeah.
is now because
Yeah.
it's such an obvious thing.
What are
right?
they
like
doing?
You do a bunch
Yeah.
of blow.
Coke, crystal?
Probably Coke, I would imagine. It's that mild performance upper. Like you're getting up at 4 a.m. You're flying from
Right.
one place
Yeah,
to another.
right.
You're fasting for a large part of your day. You're
Right.
20-hour days, and it's like incredibly physically intense
Oh yeah.
until you're just, you've seen it.
Yeah.
I don't need to tell you. You've seen it. But it's exhausting. Much like being a traveling entertainer, like it's very easy to fall into the traps that like keep you up, keep
Yeah.
you awake, keep you working, keep
Yeah,
you
of course.
functioning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the roller coaster of having to go up and then come back down. That's
Yeah.
hard
Yes.
because at some point you have to come down, you have to rest, but
Yeah.
then you need to force yourself back up a lot of the time. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what about rest for female performers? Like,
But to end,
Oh, yes, so
to end
please.
Caps Up, though, I will say, like, veteran performers, people who have been in the business for a long fucking time and who do good at their job, have figured it out.
yeah,
Whatever it is, like how to work their body, and usually there's some kind of regimen.
yeah,
They take
Okay.
supplements, they take vitamins,
Uh-huh.
like they
Sure.
feel strong about what they eat or when they eat
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
exercise, especially men. It's very fascinating to watch men be so observant and just focused on boner health. You know, it can lead you to do, actually some very healthy choices because
Yeah, it's
like
true.
unhealthy things don't do good things for your boner.
That's right. Well, as we were discussing
Sure.
before, cigarettes.
Yeah.
Yeah, below any vasoconstrictor is generally
Yeah.
not going to be terrific for your
Yeah.
boner. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
And the older you get, the more that's the case. And the older you get, the more experienced you are, the more you can really work. Everybody talks about this like wage gap in the female or versus male performers in the industry, and it's true. Often a female can get more per scene, but like a tried and true veteran male performer is rare, and you can work every day, sometimes twice a day if you really
Really?
want to.
Absolutely.
If you're one of the 10 to 20 of those that they are, like there's not that many.
Sure. Who are some of the top male performers? I'm sorry, Brian. Did you have a question? Because you can.
No, I noticed that like especially with the femdom stuff and like the T-girl part, there's like 3 guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Can you
Right.
please send me more bottoms that want
I'm-
to sub the trans women?
I'll get right
because
on that.
We're going to shoot that series.
I'm closely knit with that, and it's a struggle, you guys. And when one person drops out, you're like, oh no, the whole rotation. Is
He's
really
got the flu.
fucked
He's got the
up.
flu.
Yeah.
Or shut. The week's done.
Yeah,
the week's
like
done.
someone breaks up with their husband, and so they need time.
Sure.
They're just not as around, or they travel, or they go to
moving.
school, or people.
Yeah.
People don't generally spend that long in the porn industry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what is the like? Are
like
they?
3 to 4 years is kind
really?
of
That's
about
normal.
it.
Even shorter than that, I would
Yeah.
say, is pretty common.
For sure.
Yeah.
But
Not-
if you kind of go over that, then you're tend
Legendary.
to be a lifer.
Yeah. So we got into your porn origins a little bit because you were just talking about how you did things and then you discovered you could do similar things and get paid for them. But what was your actual entry into the porn world?
So I was living in England.
Mm-hmm.
I'd been there, probably a year and a half or something at that point, and I was on a student visa.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't really technically able to work, and I needed to make money, and so I started webcamming.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And this is the olden days of like I sold my early webcam shows with no audio.
Oh, really?
Wow.
If you could even imagine such a thing. And
especially for such a verbal person.
Now I've learned a lot, and porn's taught me how to be a verbal person. I didn't start this way.
Sure.
But it was practically, we were just out of the days of dial-up.
Wow.
And I've always been a little fetish focused, so I don't know if you can imagine a dial-up speed spiking.
Oh my God, I love that.
It's
You
kind
gotta
of
wait.
Yeah.
No sound.
No,
Yeah.
Wow, titillating,
So
tantalizing.
everyone be quiet for a second. We'll recreate.
Yeah.
Just
Incredible.
Oh,
yeah.
God,
Wow.
that was so hot.
We had a dub
Luxurious.
in that car passing by just to recreate that you're sitting in your apartment by the window sort of feeling. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I started there, and then I was very heavily into the BDSM. At that time, doing a lot of kind of just partying and free fucking, as I said. But then I started, I was in Europe, so I was doing a lot of latex and damsel in distress and solo girl bondage and heavy encasement and foot fetish, all the
The good old.
all the good old.
Yeah. The classique.
The classics.
And then I started kind of coming back to America, and I stared working for more of just like the big companies that are here now.
Yeah.
And over the last 5, 7, 8, oh God.
It's a number.
There's
and then
no
there's
need to
years.
count.
Yeah.
But I went,
Look at your watch again. Because when you need a year's amount, look at your watch.
I started out as a girl only performer. Not that lasted forever. And then I kind of branched out into touching DX.
Oh, wait.
What was that again?
Touching the dicks.
Oh, touching the dick.
Touching
I heard
DX.
something DX, and I was like, "Oh, this is a new, scientific sci-fi kind of
Touching
crossover."
those-
He's into that now, the sci-fi.
Yeah, I love
I love sci-fi so much.
Yeah.
What about virtual reality?
I've done a lot of virtual reality, actually. One of the companies I really closely work with, it's called LesVR. So it's
Cool. I
lesbian
love
VR
that.
porn.
Let's be friends.
I am available on a headset near you.
And what is that? I got to try
Can
it.
I just say that the most fascinating part as a performer is to shoot it, because like the person you fuck has to wear the helmet.
Really?
That's a good
They
point. I was
wear the
wondering about
camera.
that.
The person wears the camera, and then they have to be completely still.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so be it a man or a woman, like
Yeah.
whatever the situation is, like they are just stock still, like with cameras where their face is. So like you can't really talk to them directly or touch them a whole lot, and like there's
or jostle
no
them that much.
Yeah,
No.
or jostle them that much, and there's no like kinetic help whatsoever. Like you riding that deek all by yourself.
Oh
It's
my
just
God.
you and your quads working it out.
So it's a bit like a
Damn.
fucking machine, but without the
Yes.
activity, the motion of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine it's a lot like Jennifer.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what, Brian? Now I think what you should try to do, and you can
Yeah.
actually make a nice sideline business out of this.
Okay.
Get one of the VR recording helmets, right?
Oh my God.
Jennifer doesn't have a head
At
as
home
it
with
is.
She
Brian.
doesn't even have a head.
Yeah, exactly. She's not going to make any movements of her own, as far
That's
as we
true.
know.
That's
So
true.
let's get into Drag Race, because you're both big fans of Drag Race.
Oh, okay.
Did you watch the last season? Did you?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're behind. We're behind.
We're a little bit behind. I haven't seen all
I
of
know.
the
That's great,
episodes.
because that means you can sit down and really watch it all and not be tortured the way we were
Yes.
every single week.
That's
You're
the
right.
best way to watch it. When
It is. Yeah.
When we
like to
actually
do
got
that.
into Drag
Yeah.
Race, it was, I think 9 seasons were out. So we were
Oh my
late.
God.
We were
Perfect.
late to race. We
Yeah.
had always loved drag.
Yeah, well, of course,
And
yeah.
we'd seen
Never
bits and
binged like that.
Yeah, we just hadn't binged on it. We'd seen it on TV and whatnot, but we weren't like, super fans
Sure.
yet. We had more been into like underground sort of.
Yeah, right. Drag shows and performers, et
like we
cetera, yeah.
live right by Lips in San Diego,
what
which
a
is
great
fun.
name.
Yeah,
Like
like
Miss
Yeah.
Jasmine Mastis.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just as I thought.
Yeah.
Trash.
Trash.
God,
We're
I love
obsessed
her.
with her.
She's
I know. I
wonderful.
just reached out to her again to try to do the podcast.
What'd she
I haven't-
say?
Haven't heard back.
Ah, it's so frustrating.
We'll
I
go into
wonder-
Lips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jasmine.
When you're at Lips.
We were just there.
Yeah.
Okay, next time.
Beg her with 20s. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
She's so amazing. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So
she's
binging
wonderful.
the show like that is the way to do it. Yeah. Also, the same
Yeah.
holds true for Vanderpump Rules. So which is good for you because
What?
then when you're
binging, yeah.
the worst is when there's one of those dinner fights that stops 5 minutes.
Oh, the
after-
cliffhanger
yeah.
fight? Oh, that's rude.
Those are
they just
maddening.
set you up for it, and you're like, oh, that tasty morsel. Oh.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll be able to binge that season. And I actually missed 9 as well, so I can just go through the whole thing.
Oh, you missed Drag Race 9.
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
a good one. I think.
It was.
God, I can't
Yeah.
remember.
But 1 through 8, I was right there.
What about All Stars 3?
We did watch All Stars 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. We
did.
it
I
was-
just watched that.
Yeah.
I just watched it. It's really not that long.
No.
Like it's you
No.
can
Which is,
really
By the way, a big selling
One day.
point for him. If you can just convince him that something's not that long, it
No.
could be really long. Right? It
No.
can be really long. Let him think that it's going to be
Yeah.
20 to 40 minutes. And
That's
he's like,
manageable.
I can do that. I can do that. When I showed him Dynasty, he was like, the episode's how long? The pilot was like 2
It
hours.
was like 5 hours long. I think we just finished it like in 6 weeks.
But then you were like,
oh
can
yeah,
we
but
watch
then I
another
watched,
one?
Yeah, then I watched.
Can we watch
I
another
watched
one?
some more. Then I watched some more at my house.
I'm so happy
Yeah.
about this. I
Yeah.
can't
Yeah, it's
wait.
good.
He's
Although
not even
I-
on season 2, which is when Joan Collins shows up. So when that happens,
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah,
Yes,
it's a
no.
long ass
Joan.
show.
It
50
is.
minutes of episode.
But the good thing is, what you can do is when you get to series 7 about that, you'll probably want to kill off 7 and 8 and 9. So don't worry, it's not that
Okay.
long. Yeah, yeah.
power through it somehow.
So what are
Yeah,
some
no.
other things you like?
We prefer
Actually, let's go through your magic bag.
my magic bag. What things do we like and what category of life?
Well, any.
what do you have in that bag?
We were
there?
talking about shows. We were talking about shows and stuff. So
Okay, we just started watching Pose.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
It's spectacular.
I saw an episode of that the other day.
It's really good, but it makes me cry a lot.
Does
Yeah,
it?
that's
Yeah.
the best kind of stuff, though. Don't you like to
Yeah.
cry at a thing?
No.
Not usually.
No, you don't like crying at a movie? No. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, the couch has gone cynical.
I know.
Mr.
Yeah.
Eye Roller. Yeah.
I have
I don't like it.
anxiety. I do
don't-
not need to be made to feel fragile
I don't
any
like the
more
t-
frequently
Really?
than I
Oh.
already feel fragile.
If I cry at a
That's
concert,
why we
I love it.
Vanderpump Rules
Oh,
because there's
sure.
no. It's just
It's drama and conflama. It's
shallow,
It's
and I
fluff.
mean that in the best of ways.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it
Yeah.
pops off. By the way, off season too.
Yeah.
There's things just going on.
I bet.
Yeah,
It's a crazy group of kids, and they're
Those nutty
they're
kids.
having a great time, and they have an awesome platform to do it on. So why would they
Exactly,
not?
yeah.
Cheers to that.
Now, is she British? I'm just
Are
kidding.
you asking if Sophie's British?
Yeah.
The Vanderpump lady.
Yes,
Yes.
she technically, yes.
She's
she
from-
is.
she's from
yeah,
England?
She's British.
She's very
Yeah.
British.
She's
yeah.
very stiff upper lip British.
Yeah.
Oh, she's like upper
Darling.
crusty.
Darling.
Oh, she's like that.
You'll
Yeah,
love
yeah.
her.
Okay.
So think Joan
Darling.
Collins adjacent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, the Joan Collins film, The Bitch. Have you seen The Bitch? Yeah. So I always like to think of that as like sort of the real story of Lisa and Ken in the 70s owning a dance club and, having sex with all the people that work for them. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So delightful. I love to imagine them in yesteryears.
Me
in
too.
my
I
free
wanna-
time because
I want to interview
I'm
Ken
fascinated.
and Lisa about that so badly. Ken is just totally fascinating.
He's amazing. We
I-
love Ken. I'm so glad that those two are together. 'cause
Will you
they're
come back to
darling.
do the Pump Rules podcast?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good.
Oh, my
Okay.
God,
Good,
yes.
Good.
We love to come. Get us back. We'll talk.
Yeah.
No, she
You're welcome here
is.
for furnishings. You're going to help me decorate.
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
You're gonna do your-
We're gonna do your apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna podcast some more.
Were you thinking wallpaper? Maybe
Wallpaper? No,
yeah.
no
Wood
wallpaper.
paneling.
Wood
Yeah.
pan-
You want
Shiplap.
You said something earlier. You want to rip up the wood floors and put linoleum down, which I think is a
Oh,
very
yeah.
bold choice. And you said something
Lime
about
green.
lime green. Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking more avocado.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Good 70s avocado. You said you liked the 70s.
I do.
Everything about the 70s.
Exactly,
We'll go full
exactly. So you're
retro.
really you're gonna abduct
am.
me, and then it's gonna be full linoleum
Yeah.
floors,
And
right?
burnt orange velvet couches.
Oh, okay, right. You're gonna.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come to, or be whatever you do, right? Because I know that might be illegal. And then I'm gonna see that no chloroform, and then
piss.
yeah, right. I'm gonna be knocked out by piss and some of those blood curdling farts.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to realize that
Check
my
your
entire
watch.
place, right, all the digital stuff thrown out. I'll check my watch for what year it is, right? And then I'll have a burnt sienna couch, alternating avocado and lime green linoleum floors, and I'll be so fascinated to see what my wardrobe holds.
Yeah, and
yes.
alphabetized records.
Alphabetized records, right.
I'm sensing
My-
corduroy pants in your future.
Oh, whoa! You guys are rough. You like to play real rough,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, something itchy.
Something wide whale and unnatural fabrics.
Completely unbreathable.
For this hot, lovely LA weather.
Yeah.
Craig, we have a lovely latex corduroy hybrid that's going to
corduroy.
be. It sounds
my
good though. You
God.
like sound, right? Don't you?
Don't you? That's what you said.
That's what you said.
Did you
Craig.
lie to me, Craig? Did you lie to me?
Oh, don't lie to me
Don't
because
lie to me,
you know,
Craig.
you know what happens when you lie to me, Craig.
You'll go back back in the box, Craig.
Who knows what? Who knows what?
No, I won't open it. I won't open it.
No.
Oh my god.
Well. So do you think that that's enough for a show?
I think we've covered a lot of bases.
If
Yeah.
you'd like to talk extemporaneously about other things too, we can leave the room too if you want some private time. You know, if you want to
More
just.
spitty titties.
Wait.
Yeah,
Let me
spin
ask you
titties.
some very basic questions. What's your favorite color?
Oh yeah.
Black.
Black. Okay.
What? I'm shocked. Now hold the phone.
What's your favorite season?
Fall.
Fall. Absolutely.
And what's your favorite animal?
Well, of the tame kind, I guess we're dog lovers.
What about a spirit animal?
Yeah, or the wild animals. Wild animals.
We really like tigres. We like big cats.
Big cats.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Big cats.
Big, sleepy, ferocious
Truly,
country.
I would say my would probably be a harpy.
Yeah.
If I had
That
to
count
pick
as an
a
animal?
spirit
What
animal.
is a harpy?
Yeah. Tell us. What
You
is a
know,
harpy?
it's like a
Well, yeah, House of Harpy. What is House of
It's a
Harpy?
production company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And what is a harpy?
she's a female mythological figure that generally
Feeds on the souls of men.
Yeah.
Oh,
Gotcha.
nice.
That's very yeah.
Yeah.
Very succinct
Like
way
a
to put it.
succubus kind of,
Kind
sort
of,
of? Kind of,
yeah.
sort of?
Now, what about favorite meals? Because if we're going to go down the 16 magazine list here,
Oh, yeah,
Favorite
favorite
meals.
food?
I'm
and most hated,
southern
yeah.
as shit, so I really am partial to the barbecue.
Barbecue.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Now, what kind of
I'm-
barbecue in particular?
Big on the condiments.
Oh,
sorry.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well, see,
love
no, but this is
sauce.
great because he doesn't want any of the sauce.
Yeah.
No,
And, right,
Oh, that's
and,
great.
like,
We're good partners. We
Exactly.
fight over the sauce, and it's a constant problem.
oh, I see. So,
Never give us enough sauce.
have to make sure we get enough for both of us.
so you're also a sauce person.
I'm a food person. I cook. I love.
do?
cook. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. I'm kind of our household's chef. I would
that's
say.
nice.
It's kind of one of my jobs, and I love it. So
She's the
whatever.
chef
I'm
of
a
the
chef
I know.
of the house.
Tell us what you make.
I make whatever I'm in the mood to make,
And you're going to like it.
and say thank you, and also do the dishes.
In your corduroy bodysuit.
And matching gas mask.
And sissy apron.
Wow, a corduroy suit with a sissy apron and a matching gas mask.
It's all for
that is a
you.
full
That's a full look. That's a full look.
Yeah.
Damn.
And they're not non-stick pants.
No,
You're
they're
really
not.
going to have to work.
Oh my
No
God.
stretch and double itchy.
No
Oh, wow.
stretch and double.
That's just
itchy.
that is
so
full.
rude.
That is oh man, that's just rude.
That is another tagline. No stretch and double itchy too. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes, please. Oh yeah. So by the way, your listeners, right? So please hit us with
right, we
listener
pay
questions.
$10
Oh,
for
yeah.
it.
Please.
Yes.
Thank you so much, by the way. Yeah.
Yes.
You'll be
welcome.
getting a refund today.
We already didn't. For a sec.
Terrific. I'll be buying more clips. That's what I'll do. Yeah.
Yes. Oh.
No, you have to order your own custom.
Oh, okay. All right. I see how you work that there.
We'll make
Yeah.
those blood-curdling farts.
Blood curdling fart. That
listen,
sounds really. That is a really potent image.
She haven't played you any yet, and I'm very disappointed. No, I want to know, Brian, what does your house look like? Inside, like
We love to abduct people, and then we ask that question.
Yeah.
I'm like technically not. I'm still technically squatting.
Nice,
I
so
don't.
it's
I wish
changing
you
it
could have
up.
seen my place downtown, which was amazing.
Yeah.
It had a balcony with AstroTurf on it.
We have an AstroTurf rug as well.
Well,
so much
actually,
fun.
yeah, Courtney. I'm
Outside,
staying
it's
at
good
Courtney's
times.
house, and
Oh,
but
that's
she's
where
gone.
the shitty shards happen.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And she actually has a piece of AstroTurf
Perfect
in her
story.
living room, so there's still a lot of turf
Oh
in
well,
there.
there's a lot of
Yes.
ruining you could do there too.
Yeah. There's actually it's very clean right now, which is very
Well,
surprising.
that's right because you just moved back.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you're starting to get sore at me about this whole joking.
What? About
I'm
what?
not joking about the the poop business.
Oh, I'm not ashamed of it.
Katya, I think you're going to have to admit at some point
But I don't want to admit
No,
it.
listen,
No.
listen.
Oh,
You
I
listen
don't
to
want
me.
to admit it, you
Well, you're gonna
son of
have
a
to.
bitch.
You're gonna have to. You admit everything else. It's time now.
No,
it's
it's
time.
not.
Yes, it is. It's
No,
been long
it's
since.
not.
It's past due. It's past due. The bill is
I'll
past
tell
due
you
for
what's
you.
past due. Those library books that are...
Oh,
No,
that's beyond the pale. We have guests. We have guests.
These are hologram women sent from hell to torment me about my library books, you son of a
How
bitch.
could these hologram women make it into the couch? It's a slight one. It's a small one, but still.
The technology supports those kind of couch...
Oh, the
denting-
technology that you're so opposed to. Technology can't blow smoke in my face.
Well, technology blows smoke up your ass, doesn't it?
Oh, I see. Oh, I see. It's going to get personal.
It's getting general.
It's getting very, very general.
Vague.
Very general.
That was fun.
I'm so sorry, ladies, that you have to witness
sorry,
that.
guys. Oh, I didn't even know you were there.
Did
no,
you?
it was good.
You
It
didn't
was
hear
good.
us, I hope. The modesty screen hopefully
No,
blocked the
we
sound.
were over here listening to Thunder Buns. It's fine.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. That's cool. Yeah. I
That's
thought you were
still-
listening to a bop.
Yeah.
Thinking about the
yeah.
shards.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate the story because I think it was really an opportunity for Courtney to just be a really good ass friend. I was
Oh,
just
right,
really
yeah.
impressed.
How
She's
great
very
was
good.
Courtney?
I was like,
That
you a
whole
down ass
thing.
bitch.
Yeah.
She's very good. Yeah. She's
really
good.
enjoyed that.
But she's also, Courtney is very much a rotted person. She's
That's
very...
great. I think that's what I value. Rotted
yeah.
people.
Yeah,
and I
me
recognize
too.
that and I just high five Courtney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's pretty disgusting.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
tell.
she's pretty disgusting.
Who
Yeah,
else
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
gross?
Um,
Detox.
Detox is nasty.
Seems like a nasty pig.
Yeah, she's a pig. Sexual predator.
Pig to pig. I see you.
A lot of the girls are really they're real big sluts. Besides Trixie, she's not. She's like a colonial woman.
I'm like questioning if she's ever touched a dick that wasn't her own. No, and I mean that in the nicest of ways, only because
No,
I
she's
just
got a
feel-
boyfriend. She's got a boyfriend.
Well, it doesn't necessarily mean they're touching dicks, though. You know,
Oh, yeah, they're just sending-
don't paint with that big broad brush again.
Yeah. They're
No.
sending letters through the mail to each other.
Oh,
Yeah.
Courier
the branding's
pigeons.
working.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, she's really embodies the I mean, at least obviously the character in drag. She embodies that Southern female sexuality. Oh no!
Yeah.
I couldn't possibly never. Oh no! I've never once have I ever considered such a thing. No.
No. I haven't even heard of that. Oh.
3 dicks at my hole at once? No, I could never do that.
Oh, that reminds me. So, have either of you done double penetration?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, now then the next double anal.
I
I've seen some of that recently, and I
refuse.
don't know.
I'm gonna be honest with
Yeah.
you.
No.
I don't do it, and I can't support it.
Okay.
If you,
I don't like it.
if you,
I don't want it. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
For me personally, that's how I feel. And
just
if
don't
you
need
have a
double
magical
anal.
butthole that holds a whole bus and can just be fine, and I don't mean like you're stretched out, but like there are zero consequences because it just loves to open and close, then you do it. You more power to you.
Yeah.
That's a lot up there.
It's too much.
My
That's
whole
too
is human. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
I can do a lot, but not that.
That
One
was a
dick at a
beautiful
time,
song. I remember
please.
My Whole is Human.
My Whole
yeah,
is
it
Human.
was-
My Whole is
yeah, it's
Human.
lovely. I think
It
it
took
charted.
me a
in,
long time to accept that, but I do this time. in
And
my
there's
life.
so much damage you can do to the butthole.
Yeah.
It's really disconcerting.
We're hopefully going to have Lance Hart and Charlotte Sartre
Yes,
on.
I love
and
both.
yeah.
I love both of them, and
Yeah.
if I would really like to have sex with Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Goth Charlotte.
Yeah.
Goth Charlotte, are you listening, Goth Charlotte?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's fuck.
Yeah.
Let's fuck.
Let's fuck.
No,
Yeah.
I had a really good time with Lance. I worked with him for kink recently, actually.
Oh yeah, would you put up his butt?
Well, I didn't know that he was into ball busting at the time, so I'm just saying, Lance, me and your balls have a date.
Well, you know, from what I interviewed him as well around the time that I interviewed Jay, and he was kind of like adamant, like, I don't want to talk about the ball busting. I'm not into that anymore. And this is like 2 years
Yeah.
ago. And then I was like looking on some, they were like, oh, Charlotte and I just shot a clip. And I was like, okay, so what's going on? You're back to that. Because I had assumed that, you know, if you're not into something like that and you have that tone in your voice, like, I don't.
Yeah.
Something happened, you know, like a rupture or something like that.
Yeah.
You have fissures.
You had
Rupture. Yeah.
You had a little leaky
Millions.
scare.
Yeah, right. I thought either that or he got really into Jesus.
Something
you know?
left the
Yeah.
casing. No,
Yeah.
yeah. At least for me, if I've ever taken a break from something like that, it's usually because I had an issue that I'm healing.
Yeah.
A little too much fun. Gonna need to take a time.
Oh my god.
That drunk anal gets you every time.
Oh, and also so Charlotte is like a champ with the double anal and while being penetrated vaginally as well. So
That's what I'm saying.
3 in 1.
She's been doing that European anal. They shove every dick in the room in there. It's really impressive.
European anal?
Yeah.
I don't even understand.
At Kink, we actually, on the model form, you fill out what you will and won't do.
Oh, wow.
And someone put in there as a joke, but it is kind of true that one of the questions was bus in the ass. Like, can you take a full bus in the ass?
Yeah.
So it's essentially what they're asking is like,
It's now,
bus in the ass? Question mark?
yeah. I'm curious though, because you said European anal. Is that English bus or American bus?
Is it a double decker?
It's a double
It's a
decker.
double
It's a
decker.
double decker.
Yeah, for sure.
A double Dutch bus, perhaps?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Open tap.
Oh, it's a lot.
Oh my God.
Do you have any further questions for us?
I don't think so. No, not any questions I'd ask on air. No.
Well, then, I guess it's time to put the mics down.
Oh,
Well,
goodbye.
thank you, ladies.
Thanks for having
thank
us.
you.
We learned so much about the human body and psyche and the heart.
Excellent. Likewise.
Yeah, this was fun.
There's only one proper way to close this show.
Oh,
Thunder
good.
buns.
Well, quite possible. What is that? I've heard about that. That's Taylor Swift's latest jam, right?
That's the Swift.
Ooh.
Do.
We got guests for our Thunder Buns today in Hot Dog Club. That's the way that we welcome Cherry Torn and Sophie Monroe.
They gotta go, but hey, they had so many wonderful things to say.
They're here all day,
And
though.
we're not leaving till after the traffic goes away, so don't fucking kick us out because we're staying anyway.
We're gonna get gapped to the wall. Then stand
Not
real
picked
tight.
in your balls.
Yeah, that's definitely off the menu today. But they're staying for a while anyway.
Yeah, we're gonna stay. And please don't kick me in the balls.
We can start slow. Don't worry.
I could tell you take me to something. But I'm not kick you in the balls.
Oh my god.
No.
He's gotta get gaffed. Oh no.
In the ass.
The pillow finally fell on Miss Cherry Torn. Now Brian's gotta put it on his lap
To keep
like
it
a friend,
warm.
like a pal.
Wait. I have one thing to say.
Okay. To the song or no? Do you need
No,
the song off?
I need a sound off for a moment.
You need the.
Wouldn't it be so fucking funny? I thought it'd be the funniest thing in the world if you both, we both had a wonderful recording session. It was so nice to meet you and everything. And then, just as you were packing up your stuff, you both kicked us in the balls.
Brought you to your knees.
And then pissed in our faces.
Yes.
And then broke down the door to leave.
That comes first.
Kool-Aid man.
All right.
And then,
If you were a true gonzo journalist, that is how we would be ending this session.
and then you'd fart, blood curling farts all the way down the hall.
That's right.
Yes.
Leaving a trail.
Dusting to the front door.
And then as we all right. What is this? Second grade? Oh my god.
Let's see what it sounds like.
Yes, it is.
I like that. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. What is that still going? Oh no.
Oh Lord. Oh.
That's the sound going down the hall. You don't need no alcohol
Curdling farts.
when you got them blood curdling
What
farts.
was that? Jesus Christ.
Digestive issues don't always present themselves as some kind of cute and fun pastime, Brian. You should know.
Medical farts.
That's what the medical playroom is sometimes used for. After hours. Don't take a shower.
medical farts.
Observational farts. All right, ladies, thank you so much.
Thank
for having
you.
Yeah. No,
Cherry
that-
Tone, Sophie Monroe, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, anytime.